How are you doing today, Mr. Myer Clarity?
I am busier than I was for the majority of this year.
That's a good place to be.
Yeah, I gotta say today's unusually hectic because I was just kicking it with fresh kills, and we're rebuilding the studio that I have down on Front and Sherborne, and so that is a lot of physical exercise that I'm not used to after a year of being on my ass. And
Uh,
how are you today, Holden?
I feel kind of similarly. We went outside in the sun and looked at birds and shit for hours. And I haven't really been outside in the sun in a long time enough. You know, when you get home and you're like, oh shit, that's what it feels. I needed to like put sunscreen on like mid trip to avoid the burning. Anyhow,
Oh
is
man, sunscreen's a whole other trip. I'm so bad with that.
I keep it in my bag. At one point, I just bring a bag with me, and sunscreen stays in there all the time. I don't
Yeah,
even know
I'm
why.
definitely gonna pay the price for that down the line. That and like dental hygiene for sure are gonna be like my undoing in my 50s or some shit.
I can appreciate that feeling. But yo, welcome now, Mr. Myer Clarity, to bridge the gap. My name is
Thank
Holden
you, thank
Stephan
you.
Roy, for those out there who don't know me. And this is the show where we take very interesting people, such as yourself, Mr. Myer Clarity, and we walk through
Thank
your
you.
lives and we extract a whole bunch of knowledge nuggets from them, from your story. And we just kind of get to know you better and get to understand the person that becomes Myer Clarity along with what Myer Clarity is up to. Now, this is truly like kind of a cool one for me, right? Because what back in the olden times, the World One, as we call it sometimes, where we could go
Damn,
outside
that's
and travel.
bleak.
Cool man Logan said it, or somebody said it recently, and I really liked it. And I'm like, World One, it's kind of apt.
World
It's
War One.
clear. Um, Back then, I had this epiphany once upon a time where I should start interviewing people that were like Montreal, and while you were in Toronto at the time, it was Montreal enough, given who you are, Mr. Meyer Clarity.
I
So,
mean,
and the first episode of this fucking journey is actually in your studio up in Toronto. I'm like
hmm
fucking sweaty. I just remember that. It was like I was on vacation, super fucking high. Yo, shout out Ghostface fucking Miller with the raid of 22 people. Holy smackaroni. That is a hell of a start. Um,
dang.
yeah, we're up in Toronto and we filmed this episode. It's 45 minutes and it's with Mr. Meyer Clarity. And if I argue this crazy run of interviews that's happened, it all starts there, you know, in that August moment in your studio. And then that just kind of led me on this crazy journey of interviewing people and it grew. And now it's like 3 to 4 a week, clockwork, locked in, people just coming through.
Man, I love to
And
hear
so
that.
it's like crazy just to be able to kind of come full circle back to like you in a sense because we did the trashiest interview by comparison to what people get like today and now. So it was like, yo, maybe we should come
It
through
wasn't
it.
without its charm, though. Like it had its own little. I mean, it was rough around the edges because we were just figuring it out. But
I mean,
everything, everything
it's
comes full circle.
it's like when you go back in time and watch your like early music or whatever. It's just kind of what you're never gonna like episode one of anything you do. I mean, it has a charm, and like it's not a bad. It's not like I'm not even not proud of it. I just look at myself and I'm like I'm so sweaty, but that's all I can focus on the whole. Anyway, that was then. Now we've evolved into this whole like thing, and in a
To the
sense,
post sweat world.
yeah. Yo, you totally rated in okay, Ghostface Miller. I just got to give a big shout out again. That came through with a whole squad of people that are going to be here, you know, able
Hey,
to
that's
like
what's
check
up.
this out. All of y'all need to know that
Appreciate y'all.
Meyer Clarity's a great person, honestly. He's fantastic music just because it hasn't triggered yet. What I'm going to do is link his Spotify right now so y'all can like peep that and check it out and just put that in right quick because we normally don't get raids so early on before anything triggers like that. Um,
Yeah.
Anyhow, with that, I felt like it would be cool now that the show's kind of defined itself a bit more and it has become a thing that's more like let's fill out your wiki page because it's impossible to research you is kind of where I'm coming from with it.
Word.
Let's go through it right. Let's do it all proper and get you in. And with that, I do
I
have
love that.
a first question that I should ask just so that people are aware. Where are you from, as in born, in the earliest parts of your life, Mr. Meyer Clarity?
I am born and raised in Montreal, Canada.
That is wonderful. So with that, I do have my first question I like to ask everybody. It's a bit of a story, and when it lands, you can feel free to take the question and run with it in any direction
Hmm.
that you want. So it all starts off with my girlfriend, and she's washing the dishes a bit time ago, and she's got that Black Eyed Peas song playing. That I got a feeling, ooh. She's bopping around, and she's dancing, and she's doing her thing, and I'm looking at her, and I have this like epiphany, right? Like this song is chores music. It's go to the gym music. It's like you throw it on to go for a run music type of thing. And you kind of
Yeah.
have this whole vibe attached to the song, which, let's be real, is significantly different than when we all listened to this song 10 years ago when we were a lot younger and we were all up inside of clubs and we was trying to maybe get laid and things while the same very song was telling us to have the greatest night and let go of our inhibitions and such. And now it's chores music. And it's just crazy how a little thing like 10 years of time can take the vibe of a song and redefine its context and reality completely and differently.
Well,
Which,
music is how we decorate time, right? So
yeah,
depending on how we spend our time, we're decorating it with the songs that we like, and we might decorate things differently if we're in a club versus at home.
but
You
what's
know?
crazy is that the same songs that are in the club today are going to become those same chores music of those people. It kind of applies to anyone, right? Whatever you bumped when you were 20 is going to be your go-to music in like 12 years when you want to hit that treadmill kind of thing, right?
You know,
So
I'm just
all these,
picturing like wet ass pussy playing in
that's
a laundromat.
exactly where I'm going next with it. Cardi B, all of that shit.
Ah,
That is, in fact, the future people
I'm here
washing
for it.
dishes music. That's it. Like, kids are going to grow up while their moms vibing out to that, like probably filming TikToks and shit. That's the future. It's wonderful to me. But it also made me think about our own musical journeys, how they change over time, how we go through all of these different things, and how songs and vibes evolve over time. So nothing's static with this. But when we often talk about our own musical journeys, we kind of start at this place like adolescent era when we get our own identities and we start to attach ourselves to music. But that's not the start of the story for real. It actually starts like way earlier. Like as soon as we can remember stuff, as the earliest we can be, there's just these sounds and vibes. Like recently, I remembered I used to love Men Without Hats when I was like 3. This was like me and my mom would jam to that shit. Or like I can remember my dad had these gray boxes of the amps and the radio and the tape players and shit connected to speakers all over, and he would play these Led Zeppelins and things like that. And then at night, it was like the MC Marios in the 90s techno era. And then at Christmas time, we had these like weird techno remixes to Christmas songs, and just all these different vibes would appear throughout like my life and these musics. And my mom had these disco tapes, and I saw this different stuff, and it kind of creates this like foundation to what I listened to before I had any control over the music in my life. So I was hoping that you could take us back to like the youngest Myer Clarity that you can remember and walk us
Gotcha.
through a little bit of the soundscape of your existence.
Damn. Well, first of all, that's such a dope question and a dope way to ask it, because like I just learned a whole bunch more about you in that question, and now I'm excited to like share my whole part of that, of like, oh, I didn't even think about that. Like you're crazy impacted by, the music you grow up around, I'm sure. And like that goes for everyone, and it has its effects. And like, for example, I'm just putting two and two together right now, thinking like one of my skills as a producer is arrangement, right? And as a child, I listened to a lot of classical music because my dad was a very big fan of classical music. So there was like a lot of Mozart, a lot of Bach, Beethoven, and so that's probably where I got like the wires in my brain for arrangement and shit. Um,
Mm.
but then the first time I think I really like tuned into music and realized like I like music was I was on a bus on my way to Quebec City to visit my grandmother with my mom's, and she had this CD player back in the yeah, fucking Walkman, and back in the days of those, and she had this Beatles CD. It was Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, and so I was bored on the bus. I was like, okay, I wanna listen to some music, and I think it was track 6 that got me. The It's Getting Better All the Time. Like, I started listening to that, and then something in my head clicked. Like, oh, I think I want to write music, and that was probably like the earliest. I think I was around like 11 or 12 when that happened. I'm bad with like memories and shit.
No worries about
Um,
it.
Yeah, I think that was like the first, like that's like the earliest memory I got of like, okay, I'm gonna do some music shit.
But let's go
That and
before you had those memories. So like your mom was into the classical. That was super interesting. Your dad
it was
said
my
you listen.
pops who was a
That's
classical
kind of
guy.
it, because that means when you were young, you heard classical, and this
Yeah.
is like, I don't know, you like what about? Sorry, not. And we want to actually stop when you're like is super young, because there's usually even more good shit to uncover at this age. And believe it or not, the people who care about Myer Clarity do want to hear about 5-year-old Myer Clarity's adventures. It's
What was he listening to?
but that's it. So we now know classical, and to the point where we just found out you're the first guest to even bring up classical music in like 90 interviews, including yourself before. So
Well,
that's
dang. Well, look
so
at
it's
that.
like interesting. And then you said arrangement, and you're actually connecting things off the jump with that. But there's so much more to being young, right? So like, how are you like listening to music? Was it just like your parents were playing it via the radio, tapes? Were they like actively getting music? Was it a big part of your life? Was it small?
I would say it's definitely a big part of my life. My dad had this like impressive vinyl collection. Actually, both my parents had an impressive vinyl collection. My dad's is leaning more on the side of like classical music, which he would sometimes just end up quizzing me on. He'd be like, "All right, what country is this from?" And I'd have to guess. And I was like, fuck, Austria? No, it's German." And I was like, "Oh shit." So that's just a weird, side note.
No, this is great.
And yeah, and then he would also have like he had Bob Dylan and a lot of like classic rock as like his B side kind of thing, B side collection. And I'm trying to think of what my mom had. She had a lot of like left field shit, Like I feel like there was a lot of Frank Zappa. Uh, Serge Gainsbourg was a big one. I think there were a couple Tom Waits records, stuff like that, in that kind of lane.
But even just saying that, you can almost hear a lot of that in your music today. You can hear the
Word?
Zappa in the out there-ness of what you do, which is
Damn, I ain't
crazy to
never got
me.
Zappa before.
I never thought about it until you said it, and I was just listening to this eclectic mix of your music where you're like puking all over yourself, and this that's like Zappa-esque approach to music, taking it to such an extreme. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, is it exactly that? No, but the spirit of it, yeah, it's nifty to me that you were exposed to this wide versatility of stuff, and you can kind of hear that heavy rock influence and everything in what you do today. Like it's not lost. Like that connection just kind of flows all the way through. But there's still things outside of just the listening of music that goes on. Sometimes we find out that the people we talk to were super into dancing and stuff. And because there's a whole bunch of elements to hip hop, so I kind of like to walk through the other ones and find out what the young peoples were up to. So were you a dancer when you were 5, into the theatrics and the performings and such?
Well, not a dancer, no. I didn't have rhythm for shit. Uh, I was like a awkward 5-year old. But in terms of like theatrics, like I was a little drama kid. I was always in school plays and stuff, and that's definitely where I got my like itch to be on stages and my comfort in front of people. Where I was like, okay, here's like the one place where I can have a positive impact and be extra, and not get in trouble for it and shit. Um,
Yo, that was
so
interesting. Here's
yeah,
this
yeah.
outlet so that I can be extra and not get in trouble for it.
Bro, because like think about it this way, like you can literally have a meltdown and everyone looks at you like you're crazy, but then if you have a meltdown in front of like a cameraman and it's scripted, then you're an Oscar award winning actor, and literally you're just picking your moments. I mean, there's like a large gray area obviously in between, but like the whole point of like having meltdowns on camera can be a career versus having meltdowns is like seen as mental illness, and it's just like there's really not a huge difference, like I don't know. So that there was a part of that like attracted me as a child, where it's like, you mean I could just be crazy on camera and then everyone thinks it's a talent? Dope.
Yo, but those are still big connections to make.
Yeah.
I just sorry, I was plugging you to the chat. That's kind of why I
Oh,
was a
you
little
good? You good?
distracted. So the next question is about the visual sides of things. Were you into the drawings and the things like that when you were young? Were you a visual kid?
Um, yeah, yeah, definitely. I used to draw these comics a lot. It was like this little bug character who used to always get murdered in every comic. It was on some like South Park Kenny shit. So that was like this ongoing thing I had. Uh, and I think just because I was like pure ADHD as a kid, like I just could not focus in class, so I would just always end up drawing something crazy. And I've drawn some crazy shit over the years now I think about it. But yeah, there's definitely like the artistic side of things. Like that was the part of my brain that was definitely like flaring up as a kid, and then none of this math shit, you know. I was definitely leaning towards the arts early on, I would say.
No, it's super dope though. Like just the fact that you drew comics is cool. Like my best friend right now makes comics, so like just the idea of like you were just doing that and you killed a bug on some South Park shit. That's dope. I love South Park personally. So you're running through the younger ages. What part of Montreal are you from?
I was on the outskirts of NDG, so I grew up around Snowden Metro.
Mm.
Was pretty much where I spent my formative years. And yeah, my parents had like split mad early, so I was like going back and forth between houses. And my dad was like on one side of the carry on Queen Mary, and my mom was on the other side of the carry, like right across from Snowden Metro. Um, right where that Jean Coutu is, if anyone knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know exactly where that is.
Yeah. I'm like on the apartment building behind it. Yeah. So that's where I grew up, and then spent so much time just in Girard Park. Moved there around like 18, 19. Moved in with my buddy Chris.
I will definitely.
And
we'll get to 18, 19. But
yeah, that's down the line shit.
yeah, it's just more to like add the context, right? So you're in NDG, you're a young one, and then you said you kind of really just discovered music a little bit later on when you were, I think, 11 or 12, going to Quebec City, and that's when you really start to get kind of into it, and it was the Beatles at that point.
Yeah.
So before we move on with that, have you embraced any musical instruments or anything by this point, or are you just like a person who listens to music?
Damn, that's a good question. I think there's this keyboard that's at my grandma's place, and so after listening to the Beatles, I probably dabble with some shit. But I think I was definitely probably more attracted to like the poetry aspect side of things. Now that I think about it, there's probably like a split between like the writing side and then the piano compositional side of things, I would say. But I was still sort of figuring out which lane I wanted to be in. I just knew that there was like a performative aspect of it that I wanted to be on stages. So yeah, that's kind of what the development was like.
All right, so you're like basically kind of discovering your identity. You don't really know what you want to do yet, but you know you want to perform because of school plays and stuff.
Yeah.
So at what point do you discover, I actually want to start writing poetries or getting into the rap or anything like that? Do you remember that moment?
Man, that was a little bit down the line. I would say around like grade 7. Yeah, so my buddy David Benamu, who unfortunately passed away, I have him tattooed on my arm. He's the one who gave me like my first hip hop CD kind of thing. He gave me like a burnt copy of Eminem's Encore, and then just like something about the rage on all the raps and just being able to just say crazy shit appealed to me. I think I was like an edgy kid for sure. So yeah, I don't know. Something about that CD, gave me the itch, and I started writing a lot. And then fortunately, I had a neighbor who was a member of the legendary group Northern Lights 5. And he kind of coached me. Yeah, you know Northern Lights?
Well, I happen to be day job colleagues with Justice for a couple of years.
Right.
So me and Justice, I would say we're buddies. I don't want to be like we're tight, but we're like somewhere between acquaintance and friend, depending on circumstance.
No, I get you. Yeah. So exactly, Saji was my neighbor.
Yeah, that's sick.
He coached me on like because I was coming out the gate trying to be like trying to write gangster shit, and I'm like this 13-year-old little Jewish boy, and he's like, bro, that's not you, like. First of all, nah, and he kind of coached me and like told me what was what, and he burnt me like a hip hop education CD, with all the classics, a little Wu-Tang on there, Nas and Jay-Z, and then from there, I just sort of dived into the hip hop side of things, and I don't know, like it was like a new immediate outlet
So
for
you
me
were
to being
like,
able to write.
as of like 13, just like writing raps.
Yeah, 12, 13.
And you just happen to be next to somebody that's established, so already you're like, I'm gonna take this seriously, and started getting like advice on how to approach this. Because I knew like when I met you were like 17, 18, and you already had a disc out, so this kind of like adds some context into how you get your shit together that quickly to be able to be in such a position. So it's crazy, like 13 and already willing to go. And then thankfully somebody was like, check yourself a little bit, maybe do something that's a little bit more you. Man, so you're basically an active artist since 2013, or does it like take a couple years to really get started?
It took a couple years because like I started in grade 7, so like as I'm still working my way through high school and shit, I'm probably not at my most depth, but man, just the way you frame that right there, you got me thinking like, yo, that is pure circumstance and luck, and like, man, I'm grateful for that and fortunate because, man, if it wasn't for Saji, I don't think I would have been brought into the studio at the age I was brought into, which wouldn't have given me my ability to like enunciate the way I do and just like learn from an early age and how to mold my sound. Yeah, man, I don't know, shit's just crazy. It's a journey.
Yeah, just a quick tangential question. How old were you when you wrote Meet Me at the Park?
I think I was around like 18.
Fair.
Yeah, 18, 19.
That's a
Fuckboy age.
All right, so let's go back to like you're 13, 14. You're basically learning the basics of it. How do you get beats and stuff, or are you just kind of just writing the rap side?
What was that site called? I think there was a site called like Hot Beats or Fat Beats or something. That I used to like scour for hours and shit. But then I knew that I wanted to get to a place where I made my own shit. And I think I decided that around like 13. I was like, no. It would be doper if I was in charge of like what I was making. And so I started out just fucking around on like Acid Pro, back when I had a PC. And that was like one of the old beat programs. And then I think I fucked around with Fruity Loops for a minute. And back in the MySpace days, there was this group that was like living in my area that I was following, that I was a huge fan of. I think they went by 514 Indo, and I started talking to their producer. I'm like, well, what do you use? And he told me all about Reason, and then I've been a Reason head since. I got the fucking damn tattoo.
Yo, you take that tatted on me song really fucking serious, eh? It was like
It's like a corporate love song for like, yo, I'll get your brand tatted on.
That's a fucking incredible. So 13 years old, already making beats or deciding to make beats, and we're talking pre-YouTube era, right? Or beginning of YouTube era? No, maybe pre-YouTube.
There weren't no tutorials or nothing, that's for sure. But yeah, like early YouTube. Fuck yeah, like I think I posted. One of my first songs on YouTube was probably Lonely Avenue, which was like, I had this Ray Charles sample that I flipped and made a whole video around it. As an awkward 15-year-old with braces.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, no, but like, I don't even think you realize how incredible all of this really is as far as like an ambition point of view goes, or like a willingness. Like, not a lot of people are just like, yo, I'm gonna just start doing all of this at 13 by myself. Usually the story is I met a person, or this happened, or a circumstance. Hell, in my case, it's, yo, Myer Clarity hooks me up with a beat one day. Like, all of these things kind of play into it, and you're like 13, and you're like just pushing it. So how do you like learn how to make beats?
Man, it was just like, it was hours of making shitty beats and just like figuring it out. But yeah, like going back to what you said, I mean, I did technically meet someone. My neighbor
Oh,
upstairs
right, right,
brought
right,
me
right,
to the
right, right, right,
studio,
right, right,
and
right.
then
That's
going to the
fair.
studio, that like helped mold me. And you know how like there's this relationship between artist and engineer where you're always trying to like bring your A game because you want that feedback in addition to like leaving with a recorded product. And you're always like, okay, well, that's the first person who's gonna hear my record is their ears, so I gotta come with, bars that are gonna impress so and so. Um,
So
and that's
yeah,
definitely where like my head was at.
so I gotta respond to that. So yo, Ghostface Miller, Myer does production, and Myer does rapping, and Myer, I believe, engineers, and
Yeah,
he's pretty fucking a powerhouse. And one of the his performances, debatably one of the best I've seen in the local scene in Montreal,
I
in the
appreciate you.
history of Montreal's local scene. I made the mistake of competing against him one time. Psh, not a good look for a concert if you want to, unless you're okay with not winning. Anyway, but
Good times regardless.
nah, it was a good time. I had a lot of fun with it. But Meyer does a lot of things. He's pretty powerhouse, which is kind of like less surprising when you realize he's been like pushing it since he's 13 years old. Which is like, okay, fair enough. And even that attitude of coming through with the engineer. Honestly, I never one time thought that in my life. Like I give it like I had to impress the engineer in that regard, or like I never heard that before. So even like that to me is like this like nifty way that you approach the world that allows you to create maybe a higher quality project. Like I'll never forget seeing you in the studio working on Glassy Eyed Like a Monocle's ad lib. And I'd never seen anybody like, and I'd never
You
seen it
remember things
before.
better than I do.
I don't really drink as much as other people drink. And believe it or not, if you start
Well,
weed
that's
as an
good then.
adult, it does not fuck up your memory.
I mean, technically, I'm a late bloomer in the flower scene of smoking a lot. I mean, I don't think I really started being a pothead until like 26, but I guess that's when I like quit drinking.
I know you were drinking back then, and that
Yeah,
might be why my memory of part of that area is a little more. Well, I didn't drink a lot, so I don't know. Plus, that was such a huge moment for me to see somebody in a studio rapping. I'd never been in a studio before, and there was you, and I was just like, you were like, nah, that ad lib's not right, and you just like reworked on it, and I remember just watching that, and I'm like, damn, damn, that's like a level of like serious shit, like
appreciate
that
you.
like inspired me at least. Anyway, so like with that, it kind of makes sense. So you're like 15 and you're already doing a video, and you made. How did you get to a point where you're making videos? I guess YouTube is. Okay, you're younger, right? So I guess the YouTube and the video creation culture is a little more accessible at your age.
I guess I might have skimmed over that bit. Shit, how do I like paint this picture?
You'll run it back if you have to. It's totally fine.
Yeah, I didn't know I was gonna go this in depth.
Yeah, it's
All right,
wonderful.
let me break it down. Okay, so I was a theater kid, and that definitely bled into I wanted to make movies, and my mom had this old video camera, just like one of those digital video cameras that you go on vacation with, type shit. And yeah, I just made like a million and one ridiculous short films with it, ranging from serious to just unwatchably bad. Um, and so that's probably where I got my like editing chops because I was on like iMovie way early, back when Apple computers had colorful backs in the thing. Um, you know what I'm talking about. And yeah, that's definitely where I spent like a lot of my time just developing as an editor. And then there's also, I'm completely skipping over this aspect. My bad, I'm bad at telling the story. In grade five, I did a little deviation away from music where I thought I was gonna be like an animator for a minute. I was doing like a lot of shit with Flash MX, and like Adobe shit like that. So there was a minute where I was like, "Oh fuck it, I'm just gonna animate stuff like Miyazaki." And like
Yo,
I was super,
it's so
yeah.
nifty to hear all this, right? Because first of all, yo, what's up, Golden Jenny? So we have Golden Jenny from Norway watching. We have Ghostface Miller from the UK watching. It's a blessed night. Um,
Appreciate y'all. Thank you for tuning in.
but yo, for reals. So let me just get this straight. By the time you're 13, you are a video creator. You're making beats and you're rapping, regardless of skill set, and you're an animator. That's a hell of a lot by 13, Meyer. Honestly, like that's pretty fucking impressive, dude.
Yeah, I think I was a weird kid for sure.
But
um,
I think you're kind of a template for what a lot of other kids are today. Like you gotta just like I've talked to quite a few young people at this point. Like we're talking that like as young as 17, 22-ish, that range. And that's
yeah,
kind of what they're all like though. They all are like how you approach it. They start at like 12, 13 because YouTube makes a lot of things accessible. So now they're bumping like Young Thug, Tupac, and everything all at once. But then they also have the tutorials, but then they also have the apps. So they didn't have it as hard as you per se, but they basically have been able to achieve a lot of the things you did. And by like 18 are in kind of comparable places to where you were at by like 18. So it's super
yeah.
nifty to just see like what the next generation is going to look like almost by like following you as a template as to like how good they're going to be by like their late 20s.
Yo, it's not even gonna be fair. It's gonna get to a point where it's like, all right, I can't even put out music. It's just embarrassing.
Nah, it's alright. Because you know what's... Yo, this is the first time in history, honestly, where your new consumer ages with you. So, like, the consumer of, like, new music as of the Spotify era is everyone. Whereas previously it was all targeted at 25 and under. So we can just get
True
old
that.
and do this now. Look at who was up for Grammys last time. You're going to tell me Royce is popping with the 16-year-olds?
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, I was a 16-year-old that listened to Royce, but once again, I'm a weird kid.
No, but like Royce when you were 16 and Royce today are not like at the same Royce. He's
That's
gone
true.
sober since then. Like Slaughterhouse is more that Royce, which is like a very like more 16-year-old packaged age versus Book of Ryan, which super
Yeah,
different
no,
vibe, you know?
I hear that.
No, but super cool. So you're 15, you put out this video on YouTube. Are you already releasing audios and shit on other platforms at this point?
Let's see. Let me just backtrack here. Mostly, I think I was going the route of like doing EPs and shit, and like burning CDs and all that. I think I had like about 4 or 5 like EPs that I put out before anything became listenable. And then probably on like the 5th one is when I started putting shit on MySpace and bringing stuff over to YouTube. Oh no, wait. But technically, that first video I was talking about, I think that was off the 3rd one called Soundcheck. Man, my memory is gone to shit. Yeah, let's see. There was Lights Out, which is the first one I did. Then there was Still Underground, which is the second one I did. And then there was Soundcheck. And then what the fuck is the next one? Piece of Rhyme, which was mad dope. It has David Hodges on it. And then Nostalgic Tomorrows was when like shit started getting serious.
That's like
and then after that was BYOB.
Yeah, we got... Okay, so we gotta like... So I'll... Okay, I know what Nostalgic Tomorrows is because I have that. That was the name of the project that I own, the physical of today. But like... You were in high school and you're 15 and you put out a project. How does this like impact you? Do you like start performing? Are you like part of the scene at this point? Like you're 15 and you're dropping music at a point when the scene is in a much more infantile state than it is today. Are you like just kind of doing it on the internet? Like, can you elaborate a bit more on this phase before you kind of, you know?
Excuse me. Yeah, it's funny because like first couple of shows I went to, like I was definitely that kid going to rap shows with his mom because I was too young to drink or get in. I'm like 14, 15, seeing like an underground rap show with my mom there, and I'm super embarrassed. And she was just like I look back on it now and it's real dope that she went, and I'm sure that people were like, oh, that's cool as fuck. But like back when I was a kid, I was like, oh, I must be like the lamest person here. I came with my mom. So that, you know, that bled into me a little bit. I remember like the first big show I saw was Talib Kweli. But then yeah, in terms of performing, I think the first show I ever did was at summer camp, at Camp B'nai B'rith.
Hey.
Shout out to all my tribes. I did a show in front of like 500 kids there, and yeah, that was with David Benamou, who passed away. Oh, bro, and this is a fucking story. Let me just dive into this. We had been so we signed up for the talent show. We were gonna do the talent show, rock raps, all that jazz. And then we're trying to get beats, and the counselors are in charge of getting the beats for some reason. They had to pre-approve shit, and we're waiting. We had like 21 days to prepare this shit, and then 4 days away from the talent show is when we finally get a CD of beats, and we're just like, okay, fuck. So we have 4 days to write raps, memorize them, and then perform them. And so I wrote mine. David wrote his. We're trying to practice. We're doing our shit over and over and over and over. And then we do the fucking show, and I'm freaking out. I puke backstage, and we go on. I think he starts like flubbing a line, and then I just kick it into overgear, and I start rapping his parts for him while rapping mine. And then it was just like this whole insane moment of like, okay, we got this. And then we brought it back. We got the momentum back, and then we closed out the set. It was crazy. I want to do this shit again. And so that was like the first.
B'nai B'rith is a big place, everyone. It is not a small summer camp. Like
500 kids.
That must have been quite the reception.
Oh, and we got these backup dancers too. Like last minute, a couple girls volunteered. And we're like, fuck yeah, let's do it. And so added legitimacy.
Right off the jump. That's a pretty strong point. So you do that performance. That must have lit a bug under you. Got you wanting more of it.
Yeah, and then it went from 500 to like 4 people in a room for like years, and still to this day.
I understand that vibe, actually.
Yeah.
Nah, but still, like, that's a lot of people. That's a good memory. And you got to do your own original music, which you guys created in 4 days and rocked the crowd on, which is pretty fucking impressive when you think about it, because like people have to be prepared for these kinds of things in life, right? Like, let's say we're in the big leagues. I'm certain there are environments where that might happen to us, where like you might need to be able to have that skill set. And if you're able to pull that off, that means there's going to be an expectation that people can pull off shit like this,
I don't know if I could pull that off today. I feel so much dumber and lazier in comparison, and especially telling these stories. I'm like, yo, who the fuck was that kid? Where did he go? When did my knees get so bad?
Bills changes everything. Because seriously, these kids, I talked to the 17-year-old. He's recorded like fucking 180 songs. But then I realized, what does he got to do? Homework and then nothing. Yeah. It's COVID. So what are you going to do? He's going to sit there for like a fucking year. And like, we got work, we got things, and there's sometimes where like, you should go do that thing, like write that song. You're just not there. And if you write it badly, you don't want to listen to that or whatever, like life kicks in. You just don't have that, like, and then you get feedback. Feedback is another answer to that question. You don't have any feedback when you're 15, like when you're 30.
Yeah, that's true. People give you different kinds of feedback. Because people are trying to mold you when you're younger versus like when you're older, they're just trying to like, it's either like a relationship thing or like a favor or like a don't hurt my feelings kind of tip.
Yeah, it's different times. I don't know. I feel like it's nifty. Were you like involved in high school battle raps or things like that? What high school did you go to?
I went to 3 different high schools technically. I guess like, okay, so I went to Weston for the first grade 7 and grade 8, and then 3 weeks of grade 9 before I got expelled.
I have no idea what Weston is.
Weston is like this, bro, it was, how do I fucking describe this school? Okay, so a lot of kids that went there were indigenous. It was like specifically for them, but then at the same time, like, I don't know what the deal was, but it was like this whole, it was like, I don't know, it was like carpooling or some shit. Anyways, it was that, and then everyone else was like this mental or special needs case or like anger issue type of thing, and I was like, this is an unusual mix of like, I don't know, man, this is just like a wild fucking school. And so, yeah, how do I tell this story right?
It's interesting.
Yeah, Weston. Like, cause then no, I'm missing a whole third chunk. The third chunk was it was a private school, so there was like random rich kids. So it's like kids with ADD, indigenous kids, and then spoiled ass rich kids. And so
And this is in Montreal.
yeah, and
Like, I swear I've never
like
heard
the
of this school.
weirdest like mix of like, oh man. And so like yeah, our fucking homeroom teacher got pregnant like the first week of grade 8, and then we had to substitute that whole year, and essentially there was no class at all. We just did crossword puzzles and fought each other, and it was just like,
Wow, my mom's like, it's in NDG. My mom knows Weston.
oh, your mom knows Weston. Yeah. Man, that was a crazy school. It was good times.
Yeah, straight up. Hi, mommy. Thanks
So-
for coming through.
There you go. So yeah, like, and it's weird because it was like it changed the third year that I was there, because we had this cool principal, and then he got fired for embezzling money or some shit. And then we had this super pain in the ass principal, who the type of lady to like keep you outside in the rain until you got your tie right. And it was just like,
What
the fuck?
What is
Yeah.
all this? That's serious.
Yeah, that's serious. Yeah, there was this crazy uniform too. He had a blazer and a tie and shit. I don't know what the fuck the deal with that school was, because it was like, it was trying to be like 10 different schools. Anyway, so I get expelled from there with the crazy principal. They end up calling the cops on me, saying I was like making all sorts of threats there out of nowhere, and then they essentially like shit talk me to every single school, and I end up blacklisted, and the only school I can go to is options 1. So I ended up going to
Holy
options
shit.
1.
Yo, that's
And,
big. That is like... Because I'm pretty sure that shit's happened. I've heard of this blacklisting thing before. But I don't even know. Sometimes people say shit like that and they don't even hear how big, I think, like what they're saying is, right? Like, you've got a situation where you went to a school that was already a fucking disaster to start with, outside of your control. Something happens because of a fucking principal that is evidently pushing her role a little too far. And, oh shit, that's the school that was like behind where I grew up on fucking Cranbrook. I literally I lived in the yellow building with the green balconies for like the whole time you were fucking there.
Bro, that's
practically.
insane.
Maybe
Okay,
not.
well then that's Weston, bro.
Oh no shit. My mom
Yeah.
yo, shut up my mom. Like that's serious. Okay, I do know. I had no idea what this I knew it was there. I walked by that shit my whole life. I had no idea it was that. I swear.
Yeah. What a oh man.
Anyway,
I'm just
so-
remember this one kid who was like always confused about what year it was. Anyways, yeah, she was
Or whatever. It's somewhere around there. I don't know. Maybe it's the wrong. Oh, actually, I do know what Weston is now. I was wrong about that school. I was wrong about that. It's another. Anyway, it's not that important where Weston is. I do remember it.
Takana. Yeah.
Okay. Now I know where. Because I think I dated a girl that went there in hindsight for a quick minute. But that's a whole other thing. Okay, that's a whack situation and environment. But still, you get expelled and they bring the police into it, which already creates a degree of complication for you, because now the police get put in regardless, you become identified by them, and then you get blacklisted and forced into debatably a more complicated school, and you can't go to other public schools or other situations.
Yeah, exactly. And then options was good for me though, because I calmed my shit down, and I didn't want to get my ass served to me, which I definitely would have gotten. So it was kind of like it's like big fish in a small pond versus big fish in a big pond kind of situation, I guess, or just different ponds. But anyways, I learned a lot of dope shit at options. Kind of made me a better person. Ended up being a valedictorian of options 2, which was wild.
What's the difference between options 1 and options 2?
So options 1 is just grade 9, and options 2 is grade 10 and 11.
Okay.
So
Alright,
that's
fresh.
that's how that goes. And fuck, man.
So basically, you become a valedictorian, which is still powerful. That's actually a blessed situation to end up in. But still, the fact that this kind of like, just because one principal felt one way about one thing puts you in this situation where you get expelled and blackballed is still kind of big. Like, I don't know.
Bro, that's like, I don't even think about it that crazy, because that is one of like many teachers that have had it out for me. Like out for me. I've had people put in hours off the clock to fuck with me since I was like a kid. That was like the type of thing. I was used to like having adults single me out and be like, I'm gonna get this one. And then so when it happened with the principal, I was like, oh, okay, you just cut from the same cloth as these various vultures and such. So yeah, I don't know, man, vampires out there, but it was a blessing in disguise because options one kind of like it was like I don't know, it gave me a new perspective on things.
Which is definitely helpful. But at this point, you're also like, a budding rap star in the making, as you've bopped out this B'nai B'rith performance. And are you still performing after that? Like, before you finish high school, do you get like involved in the scene, or does that come like post high school?
No, that's budding all the while. So like, I think in options one, I might have bailed on the talent show, I think. And then around options two, I started doing talent shows. And then at the same time, I started working with the Leave Out Violence program.
Shout out Leave Out Violence.
A
You want to break down what
program.
Leave Out Violence is for the people that won't have heard of it before?
Absolutely. Actually, that's a whole other part of the formative years. So Leave Out Violence is a program that helps at-risk youth, gives them something to do after school because essentially the founder of the program, who is like a literal angel named Twinkle, I don't want to fuck the story up. She founded the program initially because she was a victim of a robbery that unfortunately took her husband from her, and instead of going to a place of rage, blame, and hatred, she decided to learn about her attacker and why he did what he did. And so she started this program because she found out that essentially this was just a kid who had been like initiated into a gang and didn't really have anything to do because his parents were always at work because they were just trying to keep a roof over their head, and so he was just alone getting raised by television. And so she started this program kind of as like a community initiative to just, if you ain't got nothing to do, come here, learn about poetry, learn about photography, learn about like a little bit of psychology. It's also like a group therapy thing. So yeah, she filled this need that had pretty much created a situation that took something real deep and personal from her, life straight up. And so this was the program that
she would
pardon
like
me?
go as far as to tour the schools. Like she came to Wager
Yeah.
when I was there, so like they were there, and they were like all over. I don't know how far their reach was, but I know they were all over Montreal.
Oh yeah, no, they that was part of what I did for them, and that was part of my performances. Is I actually got to tour the schools and rock raps for them, in addition to telling this story over and over again. And yeah, just sort of explaining like my story as well, because like I since I was like 5, I'd seen some domestic violence shit go down, and that definitely warped me and how I grew up, and that's probably all the root of the anger and stuff. So I would tell my story to everyone and just talk about, seeing my dad hit my mom kind of thing, and just sort of explain my route through it all, and then talk about using like photography and poetry as an outlet. And then I would go school to school and also rock a rap song and also tell Twinkle's story. Yeah, so I think that also like had something to do with me being more and more comfortable in like a public speaking role, or like or at least just performative shit, which I've all lost over the last year due to COVID.
I don't think you lost it. You sound great,
Bro.
Mike.
Oh, thank you, bro.
Man,
I
even
like,
when we,
on my end, I'm like, I forgot how to socialize. I don't.
I don't know. We did that like Sunday morning NFT stream, and you were fucking killing it.
Oh, that was good times, bro.
No, for real though. Like, I just think Leave Out Violence is really cool. I forgot about them, as I often do. I was forced into Leave Out Violence for a minute, but they published my shit in their paper, and I forgot about that for most of my life. And they used to have that paper, and it would go around to all the schools, and you would get to see the different people's work and shit. And I just thought it's cool to be able to give them their flowers, but to see that you were involved in that, and that you were like, and that they gave you that opportunity. And again, you go on to do a lot of pretty cool things. Like, you should hear the reverence people speak on you getting punched in the face and then continuing to perform later on in life. The reverence
my God.
that gets put on that story. 2 interviews
That's like
come up on.
That's a story now, hey? That's like, oh man, is that one of like the milestone events? Remember that time Clarity got punched in the face, kept rapping?
Yeah, kind of. I mean,
Oh man, what the
enough
fuck kind
people.
of legacy am I leaving?
I mean, you're like past that phase of your life, but one of the best performers in Montreal, and there's proof to the pudding. And then I throw in the girls peeing on stage story, and you don't even flinch, and it's like Myer Clarity's a fucking G about his shit.
I don't even remember the girl peeing on the stage
Bro,
story.
I will never forget that. We're at like Death House,
Oh right.
and I just know I'm on right before you. 6 girls on stage. I'm focused on my girlfriend. I have the footage of that shit. And then you get on stage, and one of them it just happened. She just peed right there on the stage, and you just didn't stop rapping. Didn't
These
really
things
like.
happen.
But it's just your unflinching ability to keep a show going, regardless of what is happening around you, is pretty fucking incredible.
My ADHD is my superpower. It makes me tunnel focused. It's like when I opened for Yellow Wolf and got lit cigarettes pelted at me.
Wait, what? Okay, let's pivot to that. What happened?
I opened for Yellow Wolf and I wasn't great at handling my highs, so I had to freestyle a couple of my numbers. And at one point, motherfuckers started throwing lit cigarettes at me. And then I was like, oh shit, let's do our closing number in depth.
That's serious. that is definitely a moment. Another first. Nobody said that they've actually had lit cigarettes, but still, the fact is that you have all these stories. My guy, I don't think you understand that. Like you're not even 30, right?
Man,
Like I've barely lived by comparison to these stories that you're putting onto the record. It's incredible, and you're from Montreal, and you're from this city that I'm in, at least. And you're part of the legacy of this shit. This all happened. This is all part of it all. And I don't want to say anyone's more important than anyone else, but to a lot of people, you played a role.
man, I appreciate that so much. There's it's easy to like fucking lose track of shit and forget. Like for example, myself, I've just been in this like Groundhog Day, living out in this sewing room right here, and yeah, I don't know. Like it's easy to forget everything that you've done and gone through and shit. And so just talking about this and like thinking about it is like, oh dang, there are a lot of stories. There's a lot of insane shit that's happened, like the getting punched in the face during the "So You Think You Can Rap" show.
Yeah.
Where I learned that you shouldn't steal Jack Daniels from people's tables because they don't like that and they'll punch you.
That's incredible. Honestly, I don't. Anyway, that story. Like, I'm trying to remember. Like this, it was. I don't like if I was there or not. I don't think I was there because I don't remember you getting punched in the face. But I know I was at a. Anyway, that's not really that important. But it's just crazy how it comes up. But like your life. Like you were actively performing, like you got called Montreal's #1 performer in like 2012 or some shit. Like, I mean,
I think #2, but yeah, that was
okay. #2 is still number. That means you got enough people voting that you were the illest performer of a comp like that. These aren't like insignificant things. That's why like we're still like basically you're like 15, 16 in your story, so to speak, and like we're an hour in and we haven't even hit adulthood because you've actually just done enough shit that we had to keep running it back to clarify more things. I mean, for somebody with a bad memory, I'm gonna have to disagree with that idea. It's just we don't think about this shit, right? We don't often even give ourselves the flowers that we claim we should give to other people.
Yeah, how often does that come up, eh? That's a good point.
But but it's also like inspiring, right? Because there's gonna be 13-year-olds out there that might hear this one day and be like, yo, I could be Myer at like 13, and then there's gonna be people later that are like, yo, I can go do everything. And then there's so many angles to it. And then what's Leave Out Violence? I'm now in my head going, is Leave Out Violence still around? Are they still doing shit? I don't even know.
Yeah, I should reach out to them too. I kind of want to do more with them. Like that's a good thing that they're doing or did. I don't know if they're still doing.
And if not, who's the equivalent? Is that the next thing? So, like, you know, like, it's cool to be able to walk through life and figure out how we can contribute or what we have already done. So let's say you're part of these performances. Are you like going to all these bars and all these scenes with all these different things happening, or are you kind of still like small scale high school and just kind of rolling through a high school version of it?
So definitely like before I was old enough to drink, I was still infiltrating a couple spots, different bars and stuff. Whether they just had like lax entry or like I had an X on my hand. I still got to rock a couple open mics and stuff like that. And then I became a regular performing at Crowbar, and that was where I spent a lot of my formative years, just rocking Crowbar show after Crowbar show after Crowbar show after Crowbar show, which is on Crescent Street, right next to Brutopia. Um, and yeah, rest in peace, Bubsy. Um, he was the owner of Crowbar, and he kind of always gave me feedback, and he always gave me like a place to perform and shit, a place to hang out. So that definitely helped me polish my shit. And then I got to like interact a lot with the Velvet Trench vibe, so I was like a huge fan of growing up. So for me, that was like a huge thing for me, just getting to like meet my idols and talk to them, and like just fucking drink with them and shit. So yeah, definitely like by the time I was old enough to perform in bars, I was used to performing in bars, and I think that definitely helped. Also, I had been drinking since 16 ish, so there was that too.
That part is a lot more like common.
Yeah.
I'm like kind of on the weird end for not drinking at 16, but most people were. Who was in the Velvet Trench again?
That was Aspen. It was fucking man. He went by the Kid Nero, which he changed to. He just goes by Mike now, I think, or Freddie Five Fingers. And then there's Aerosmith, and then there's City. Am I forgetting anyone? I don't know. Yeah, my fucking memory ain't what it was, which is kind of depressing. I might need another coffee in a few.
Yeah, no worries about it at all. Yo, my girlfriend just sent me a message saying that they definitely still exist. Leave Out Violence Quebec is still a thing, which is cool. I wasn't clear on that. No, fair enough. I was just like, I feel like they came up in an interview recently, and I'm like, no shit, I can't remember it either, so my memory is blanking on me. But I talk to a lot of people, and then it all clicks later on when I'm not on camera. So
yeah, and that's always how it goes. But yeah, they go by Canahead now.
That's fresh though. So you got to be in this environment, which trained you for the environment, and then you start running your own thing. How do you get to this point though, where you have this like full project that you drop that has Mocha only on it?
By that point, yeah, it feels like there's a lot more momentum. By that point, I was recording at Red Rhino Studios, which quickly became Studio DRX, which is the one that you came through to. And that's when I started working on Nostalgic Tomorrows, which parallel that I had also been taking piano lessons. First through my first mentor, Ernie Nelson, and then one of his students, Gregory. And then while I was like soaking up all this piano and jazz theory, I asked him and his trio to rock that track 3 on the album where there's like the whole jazz joint. So we went to a whole professional studio for that and spent the day tracking it, and that was like a whole other experience. But to go back to what you were asking, I was spending a lot of time at Studio DRX. I was making all the beats for that, and we were recording tracks. And I think it was still in the MySpace days, so I just reached out to Mocha Only through MySpace and just asked him how much it was for a verse. And back then it was 400, so I just sent him the 400 and shit was done. I also got Mac Lethal on the same song, and I think he was around the same, if not a little less, back in the days. So that's the song that just keeps appreciating with value. and I'm excited to drop a re-release of it soon.
Yo, I just know that I got that disc because I had met you at that point, and I saw that, and I was like, how? Because you were like young. I knew you were young, but like it blew me away. The value of just having that, like, I don't know. To me, it was significant. I took you more seriously from that moment on. Like just seeing that you had that disc ready to go with those features on it, not just like your own shit, but with like features on it of like real rap. Not to say the other people aren't real, but like with real rappers on it. Like that was
No, I hear
serious.
you. Yeah,
Like
that's
that.
like still the strategy is like, yo, that's the cosign, right?
And the fact that you paid for it and just made it happen, honestly, like the more I look into it, the more it seems like that's how it works. This like fantasy where some famous rapper is just gonna throw you a free verse is a fantasy, and like sure it can happen, but more often than not dude pays for a verse and works out a deal in some way, and then it just kind of has a value proposition even if it's on your Spotify or whatever, like it was a good move. I'm not gonna lie.
I appreciate that.
And the album's great. I remember bumping that shit. Yours is one of the only local albums at the time that I ever took out of a fucking thing. And I remember listening to it at work in my call center. And like it's a good project. Like for real.
Man, thank you. That's bro, I was back. Yeah, this is essentially like the 10th anniversary coming up on it. We're 2021. It's 10 damn years ago.
So yeah, when you dropped that, like you pressed it and everything, what was that like?
That was definitely like the most stressed out I've ever been about a design, because that was the most intricate digipack I ever did. Um,
What's a digipack?
so digipack is like those CDs that are kind of like booklets kind of deal, where like
Mm.
they open up and fold and shit. I was used to getting like jewel cases, which is the OG way, with the see through back, where the disc goes, and so I think I've been dealing with the same company for a minute and was just was in a good rotation of getting shit pressed, but then the digipack option came around. I was like, okay, I gotta go for it, and I felt like this album was gonna be like my album in some sense. Like I don't know, I just felt an energy on that one where I was like, oh, I'm connecting with the type of artist I want to be, versus everything before was trial and error. Um, so yeah, that one felt like I was really like becoming myself, and it was just like a lot more raw and authentic, and I just put a lot of myself into it. Um, so yeah, I don't know. I just went all out on the design. I What did I do for the design? I scanned like 1,000,001 old photo albums, essentially, of me playing in the snow, and photoshopped all those together to look like that collage that the cover is, and then went in and designed like literally 6 panels of shit, and then sent it to the company, got that shit pressed, and yeah, digipacks.
Did you do like an album release party for it?
Did I? You know what? I actually do not remember if I did. I think I might have screwed the pooch on that one.
Mm. But you were still like performing all over. Like
Yeah.
I mean, I don't. When did you like really like come of age and get into the scene proper? Like, what year was that?
I would say it's probably around like Nostalgic Tomorrows was when people started taking me like a little more serious, I guess. And then after that, I was just building resume.
And when did Nostalgic Tomorrows drop? Was it
That was
2000?
2011.
Okay, so that comes out, and then I know that I come into the scene somewhere in the 2012 era, and at that point, everybody loves you, at least in the world that I'm a part of. I don't know about the whole city, but my Facebook knows who you are at this point as I'm discovering it. You're at like all these shows that I'm seeing. I'm saying you're at all the weird shit I performed at. You're not just at like the regular shit I performed at. You were
Like the
like,
weird shit.
yeah, like you got involved in a whole bunch of stuff. People were like really feeling you and whatnot. So like you had this like real buzz that was going on. But it was, to be fair, in like the 2011, 12ish era, the scene was pretty regular for like having a lot of things happening. There was a lot of momentum happening. So what was it like coming into it in that era? Because keep in mind that people today and now coming into it, they don't know what it was. I have my memories, but even then it was 2012, and I was just coming into it. I didn't know shit all about shit all. You were there, other people were there. Like literally, the first like local event I went to, you were there, and I remember freestyling with you outside the bar one time. And then like this like the CFC. It was at the CFC.
Oh
Oh,
man,
so like,
CFC.
what was it like being a part of that wave?
It was like a community, man. It was like a lot of people that you bumped into doing the open mic circuit, kind of like comedians do. And then you had your staple events, like there'd always be an open mic on Thursdays or Tuesdays. I did a bunch of Wednesday CFC shows, and you would just sort of like build this run of places that you would do, and there was this never-ending resource of just like different artists you had done shows with, putting on different shows, being like, hey, you want to rock this one? I'm like, hell yeah. You want to rock this one? Yeah. And then we would all throw each other a set and do set for set, and you ended up rocking like every bar in Montreal that way. So I just sort of kept piggybacking off that and
So
just
you
trying
would
to.
also throw events.
I threw a couple events. I was better at rocking events because I'm not an organized person. So yeah, definitely like throwing on events was challenging. I did throw like a couple yearly events where I would always blend hip hop and punk rock kind of thing and just do like two different genres. So that was like something I remember throwing a bit. Damn, I think we had a lot of fucking problematic flyers on that shit. Now that I think back to it. Yeah, man. So that was definitely like a staple event, and then
But you said there was
just like the
open mics.
yeah.
There, maybe I was just ignorant to it. But by like 2014, there was a couple of open mics that I could think of. Not really a lot, and they were all on Wednesdays, so you could only go to one, at least for where you could rap.
Yeah, I think shit died down. Or like,
So, can you talk a bit more about this open mic circuit and like let's say make a case for the power of it? Because let's say where I'm going with this is 2021 is now. The world's gonna open up inevitably, and then how do we recreate this community and get this kind of camaraderie that creates this ecosystem that gets like the average person who is not involved in the music scene to want to show up to these events because it's the thing to do.
that was always the challenge. The majority of these events was always just like other artists and drunk people that stumbled in. Um, yeah, there was one in the basement of Brutopia. There was one at Crowbar. I think there was one at Grumpy's. Um, shit, there was one at Piranha Bar. I think. There's that one at Atwater Metro. No, not Atwater. Fucking Barry Ucam. CFC did theirs. Where else had them? I think fucking Mad Hatters tried to do a couple, and that was always a shit show. But yeah, there was just like this circuit of places you went. A couple places in NDG too. There was the No Damn Good skate park that used to throw shows, which is
Interesting.
where I got inspired for that name. I'm like, oh okay. And then what else? What else? Yeah, there was Death House and like the Fatale Lofts and stuff there too. But yeah, there was just this whole like, intricate network of people putting on shows, and then you would just meet people through other shows. And also, this was back in the days when KOTD would have battle raps in Montreal. I don't know if they still do. I feel like
No.
everything's
But DMS has events for those that want to like go into that, and they're like doing their thing, and they're like putting in the work to like kind of recreate that, but like make it our own rather than be like a KOTD Montreal.
Yeah, I hear that. Yo, would it be cool if I just quickly ran to the bathroom and
Yeah,
grabbed
man,
an
of
additional
course.
coffee?
All right, Myer is back. We were watching you
Okay, yeah,
grab this
go.
girl's fucking phone and
yeah,
like take a selfie of yourself like while she was filming you. I was wicked stills because just to get like a visual representation for the people here of how like actually lit you are with that shit. Like, yo, I saw you interact with the crowd one time. And so I do hip hop karaoke for the first time when I'm drunk, and I grab some guy's fucking head, and I don't really think about the implications of what I'm doing. I just saw you do some shit like that. So I was like, and then he like approached me after, and he was like, "That was sick, man. You're lucky." And I'm like, "Oh, oh shit, maybe I shouldn't
Oh
harass.
shit.
It didn't really click. But yeah,
It's
so
definitely ended bad a couple
what?
times.
Sorry.
It's definitely ended bad a couple times, which is why I don't do it as much anymore.
Yeah, I could see how that goes. But it ended well the one time I tried it, and I realized I'm not Myer Clarity. I should not grab people or, let's not tuffle with the crowd. But, like, yo, the level of interaction, the boldness, like, I've seen it land a lot. I've seen you do shit. Like, I'm not performing until somebody buys me a drink, and then somebody does. And I'm like, yo, it might come off kind of like preposterous, but, like, you got to
That is
understand that it's
preposterous.
attached to this, like, image of a guy who's like
I mean, I had a
literally
green
gonna
mohawk when
like
I did
wipe your
it.
fucking windows down for change 5 minutes later type vibe with the whole thing. Like, it felt more like performance art than being cheap.
Yeah, yeah. I definitely had that period where I had the green mohawk, you shaved the sides and shit, and was leaning into the punk thing a
Scrungy?
lot.
Scrunge? I forgot the word. I can't remember the word I'm looking for.
Oh, crust punk,
Mm.
crusty,
No.
and yeah, I was just because like I was definitely doing a lot of shows in the punk scene, and so I was like trying to pay homage to my friends by just putting more of that into my music and just giving love back to that. And then MGK came out, Yellow Wolf came out, Lil Peep came out, and I was just like, okay, everyone thinks I'm trying to sound like them, and I was just like, fuck it, no more. And now I'm back to my jazzy shit. I mean, there's still rock roots, but like, I don't know. I think I found my own unique blend that ain't nobody else occupying
Fair enough.
in terms of lanes.
That is a huge topic. But let's go back to like you in like 2012 ish. So you're doing your performing thing. You're going through life. Um, you got your first project out. So what's actually going on? What are some of the more highlights or the more interesting things that happened during this era?
Huh. So, some of the first project. Let me think. Let me think. Um, Definitely there was like the Meet Me at the Park video shoot, which was like a wild time. That is a moment in time. Um,
Big
I did a
moment.
lot of shows opening for people from like D12 to Yellow Wolf to like T Mills to fucking Hoodie Allen to I can't remember if I was just at the Sean Price show, if I did a set. I was probably just there. Um, yeah, I don't know. Fuck, the list goes on. Um, Man, it was just like a weird moment in time. It's hard to remember a lot of it because I spent the majority of it real drunk. So like in addition to all these milestones I'm trying to remember back to, it's just like, okay, hazy night, hazy night, hazy night, hazy night, another hazy night. It's like
Yeah.
file not found upstairs.
No, I
But
appreciate
yeah,
that. But I don't know. Meet Me
definitely.
at the Park was big for me. I mean, I remember you posted on Facebook, I'm looking for 5 people to come do a backing chorus thing or whatever on a song. And I said, yeah. And I had to get permission to like leave work and shit. And I come all the way down to this GRX studio place where you're at. And then you had me, Buds, Dobsky, somebody else, and myself line up around this fucking microphone and do this hey ho shit. And I will never forget that because like
Yeah.
it was like a big moment. I was like, damn, I'm in like a real fucking studio. And like, yo, I'd never. And then I ended up working there with Aaron after because I was like, how do I record here? I was like, this is a real studio. Holy shit. And so for me, that was, I don't know. I'm not here talking to you today probably if you hadn't made that Facebook post. So just to give you like the full respect
Context.
of like how much that meant to me over these years. Like that video shoot, everything. Like I was like, I have to be at the video shoot. I'm on the fucking song kind of buried in the back.
Man, I appreciate that. Yo, and like, yeah, that whole studio was a time. Studio DRX. Fuck, we worked with so many people there. We had a lot of Motel Raphael come through and do 2 different hooks on the album. We had Underground Railroad that we worked with, which was TRX's rap group. We had SRH come through, who now goes by Benny Main. who I'm sure a lot of people know. Who the fuck else did we have come to? That's where I learned to comp and like use Pro Tools. And shit. Actually, here's a funny story. I was always trying to like negotiate deals and figure out like how I could shave more hours off the clock kind of thing. So I ended up working for this dude and cleaning out some of these rehearsal spaces that he owned. And man, was that the nastiest shit ever. Like they had a bad relationship, tenant and landlord, and so like there was like fucking bottles filled with piss and like fuck you written on the wall and all kinds of crazy shit. And I put up with it for a while, but after like I dropped a 40 of piss on the ground and it splashed me in the face, I was like, okay, no. I quit. I'm not doing this anymore. Um, and so yeah, I was just trying to like be in the studio as often as possible and taking any job, including the nasty ass grunt work, which is getting piss in your face. Um,
I mean,
is
that's
what it is.
it still makes you. That building was something else, man. I remember going there, and after the first time going, I can never take a shit in this building in my life.
Oh, that bathroom was foul.
It was just like, there's, I don't know, you get it if you get it, but like, you were willing to take a piss there, kind of, but it was still that like
Man,
caveat, like,
that building. Well, it's torn down now, but it's still somehow haunted. For sure, 1000%. Yeah,
but like,
crazy
there's a
shit.
lot of Montreal of all genres that pass through that building. Like, you would walk through and hear like death metal on your way to your hip hop session.
Yeah, that's 1180, man. That was like the building. There was a band called 1180 that was based off of that building. And that was the owner of the first studio I recorded at, the laboratory.
Yo, tell us about that studio.
Okay, so the laboratory was where a lot of hip hop cats went before Studio DRX, I think. Unless I'm fucking up my history. But that's where Northern Lights brought me my first time. Um, man, that like.
Dude, you
So I
got to
met
like,
Mitch Album, who
you
went by
got to
Lab Rat.
watch Northern Lights and then record.
Yeah, man. That shit was crazy. And I was like trying to pitch him beats too. uh, and yeah. I don't think it was. I think the beats back in the day were pretty shitty. Um, I remember just someone saying, "Turn this pimp shit off," and I was like, "Okay, maybe less funk guitars next time." But yeah, so I got to see them perform or record rather, and that was like my first time in the studio, and they let me lay a verse in between like sessions. And I think I like just brought an instrumental off like a 50 Cent record or something, and I just laid my first 16 there, and it was meh. But like I don't know, they gave me props for it, and they saw that there was like potential for sure. I guess in like the rhyme scheme or something. So, they helped guide me in the right direction, and then I just started working with Lab Rat a lot, and yeah, that turned into me going back there over and over and recording 3 different EPs, 4 different EPs, going all the way up to Piece of Rhyme. I actually bought a beat from him, did a song with him. Um, Shit, what else? I'm just trying to see like what the fuck am I forgetting? And then I started working with like DRX, and that's like the BYOB album where we work with everyone from fucking East End Radicals to SRH and shit.
So okay, so the BYOB album comes out in 2015, and then there's 2012, and that's a 3-year period. So what goes on during the process of creating this album in your life?
Um, so I moved to Toronto around like 2013, 2014, and that's when I went on my first tour. Um,
Did you
we
move
were,
to Toronto to go on tour, or was that like a consequence of moving to Toronto?
it was just me planning like an idiot. Um, so basically, I was going to move to Toronto, and I had this tour going on with C, Notion, and the Bodega Brothers, and who the fuck is, oh, it's just a water rap. I'm just trying not to mess this up. So it was like Toronto. I think we did Kingston, Ottawa, and then Montreal. Or not in that order. But I did my last Montreal show ish, or my goodbye Montreal show. Uh, Had a huge like almost sold out the venue kind of thing, and then we did Ottawa, which was like decent. Kingston, which was pretty dope, and Toronto, which I think was like terrible, and the headliner almost bottled one of our friends in terms of like dude was being slippery with the money and shit. But like we made peace and shit. But yeah, I'm not trying to put anyone on blast or nothing. But it was a wild time. It was a weird initiation to Toronto, and so we had that like salty event where nobody showed up. It was poorly promoted, and our money wasn't there. And then I saw my apartment I was moving to for the first time, kind of deal. And I hadn't seen it before, but I was in contact with my roommate at the time, who was like apartment hunting, and I knew him from back in Montreal. He was my old roommate's old roommate, kind of deal. And so yeah, I saw my apartment for the first time, and basically it was like this fucking submarine with no windows, with like mold everywhere and cockroaches and shit. And I thought there was at least gonna be a couch, and there wasn't. So I was kind of just sleeping on this hardwood floor with the roaches and shit. My first night in Toronto, and that was like, welcome to Toronto.
Holy shit. Okay, that's
yeah,
big.
that was the time. That was the time.
Why did you choose to go to Toronto?
Everyone was telling me I needed to leave Montreal.
Why?
That was they're saying that like Montreal was kind of its own little sphere in a sense. It's like a village kind of shit. And they're saying that like if you want to be successful, you have to leave and come back kind of thing. And so I was trying to hit the States, but I ended up going to Toronto and sidestepping, and then essentially just sort of getting caught here. And yeah, that's been the trajectory.
What does that mean? You got caught here?
I would say that like, because I was initially planning to like come here and then eventually try to move to LA or Atlanta or New York, but I kind of got stuck in what we call the housing crisis. And so the majority of like any and all budget went towards just keeping a roof over my head and just trying to like keep my head in the game. And so like way more of my hours turned into like being a line cook or like doing work for hire shit, and way more of my focus got like deviated to a point where it was like, I don't know, how do I put this? I guess I was kind of trapped working, and then on top of that, I started working with Heavy Ox in them, and I was building with Ill Vibe, and we were building like a whole fucking song factory empire type shit. And then we ended up parting ways because I didn't like the way he was running the label, and I felt like I was like mad low priority. What's up?
You're blitzing through things.
I'm blitzing through things. My bad. I'm like just trying to remember it as I go.
All right. So let's go back to. So you want to move? Not to say that because you're giving me all these great talking points to fill out the next little bit with your blitzing. I fucking love it. I was like, okay, but now let's like rein you back in a little bit.
I gotta promote some music and shit too.
Yeah, but it's like every 20 minutes it pops up in the fucking thing. It's gonna be in the links below. This whole thing is promoting your brand. It's more about like you. The whole rest of every other interview you're gonna go to is gonna make you talk about your current project and shit. This is like the Myer Clarity story where you get to like sell the people on who the fuck you are.
Let's dig deep. Fuck it. Let's do it.
So like anyway, with that, like so you go to Toronto with this plan of, and the tour thing is brilliant. I remember the flyer. I remember that playing out on Facebook. I don't remember why I didn't go. I think I was in my trap of call center 70-hour weeks trying to get promoted.
Yeah, you know the trap.
That shit worked. But it's still like it was big. It was a lot of hours. So you end up going to Toronto, and you're trying to basically chase the dream in a new place. So right away you get there and it's pretty hard to get started. I guess you figure out a bed or a couch or whatever and you get the ball rolling. But like, can you walk us through a bit, like literally what that's like? Like that sounds like a fucking movie when you like describe it like that. Okay, like you might call
Yeah,
it
I
bad
did breeze
planning
through
and
that
shit,
shit.
but like it kind of sounds like a movie.
All right, so basically that was like I packed like the essentials and brought the essentials on tour and then dropped a couple things off. And yeah, it was like it's a basement under yeah, it was a basement under this like two-story house on a residential street, and the only window was pretty much from the shower to this schoolyard for an elementary school, which is just like why the fuck is that the only window? And so we're just getting. I'm like living with my roommate for the first time. Shouts to Mickey. He manages to land me a job at Ripley's Aquarium. But yeah, I'm just there.
Oh, that's a cool spot.
Oh, word. It's
I'm
yeah.
I mean, it's not like okay. Like I saw the little fucking things at the end. I forgot what they're called, but like at the very end of the tour, and they pop up out the water, and they're really
Oh
cute.
yeah.
And I don't know, they're cute. You see, okay. I mean,
Yeah,
well,
they
if
got
I,
some cool fucking jellyfish and shit. They got a nice display there, but it kind of sucks to work there, unfortunately.
yeah, I guess that's a whole other vibe. But I went
Yeah.
as the consumer because my girlfriend wanted to go.
Oh, it's dope to be the consumer, just not the minimum wage employee.
Yeah, big facts.
That's always how it goes, though. But yeah, I'm trying to paint the picture here. Let
Yeah,
me
no,
see.
sorry about that.
No, you good, you good. Um, yeah, so like, I don't really know anyone. I'm kind of just like living on this fucking twin mattress on the floor. I'm trying to set up my studio. Everything's in just boxes. I'm working at Ripley's Aquarium. Shit's a minimum wage job. I'm biking everywhere, and pretty much I'm trying to like network, but I think the whole like edgy punk shit is not flying over well in terms of like Toronto, and I'm realizing that I gotta soften up around the edges. And then I start working with a couple cats, and then I started building with Ill Vibe and them. I started touring and doing a lot of Sodi tours there,
How
and
did
that's
you?
when I
And
like
you
sort of
met El
found
Vibe in Montreal.
yeah initially.
Um, how long have you been involved with the heavy? Like, when did you get involved with them? Was that like in Montreal or something that happened after you got to Toronto?
So I met him originally in Montreal. He was doing this show called Survival of the Illest, I think, was even back then. Or no, it was Hollapalooza. Anyways, I met him through C, and I liked the way he ran the show, and I could tell that he was on top of his shit. He was a good businessman. And so we networked, and I ended up, I think, winning my regional thing that he did. Or no, he had come back and done Survival of the Illest, and I won the regional event, and I went up to the championship kind of thing, which was in Toronto. And then so that was kind of my introduction. I got to like meet a lot of the people competing, met a lot of the other champions from other places. Um, yeah, that was so that was probably like my soft introduction to Toronto. And then once I moved here, I knew that he had been building, and I think I had won. Yeah, I had won a music video for winning the regional event, and so I ended up cashing that in, and then just trying to build the network with him. And also that video was for a joint I did called Fever, which has Do on it. Um, so that's how I got to meet Do, and we both ended up rocking shit for the first time. So that was a vibe.
All right, so you're in Toronto and you're working at the aquarium, and you realize that you have to reshape your personality because the shit that worked in Montreal that was working there, which it was working, it was doing quite well, is not going to fly in this whole new scene where this whole subculture that you were formerly a part of doesn't exist, or you haven't found it. That could both be true. So how do you start integrating into a scene when you drop into a new city like that? Like, let's say even with Facebook and shit, how does one just start networking?
Um, man, it was tough because like, how do I even like go into this? I would say that in Montreal, it's a little easier to network because people aren't as guarded. And then people become more guarded the higher the cost of living is in a city, I've noticed. And so, people don't really have like the downtime to just interact. Like, there's no TAMs or anything like that. Um, and so mostly I would meet people through either work, um, or I would try to network at bars, but that never really materialized into anything. I would go to like every hip hop event that I could sign up to, and it was like a lot of open mics there too, I guess. But mostly like I ended up building my social network through coworkers. That was like the majority of the time how I met people.
Yeah, it's a lot of power in that. Honestly, the coworker grind is a real thing, and I only know that because I've been at the same company for a super long time, and when I was in the call center, it's a high migration of new faces, and it was definitely able to do things like sell concert tickets and things more. Even pushing
True
music
that.
just on a network, because literally every month you're going to encounter like 20 new faces that'll convert into at least two people that are interested every month. That will have a little ripple effect. Then I got
I never thought
promoted.
about it that way. Sorry, go ahead.
So then I got promoted. It's cool. Don't get me wrong. It made me a lot more comfortable in life. But I've kind of been with like the same, let's say the core like 40 people plus an additional like 70 over the last like 7 years. That went from like a rotating pool of like 20 new people a month to like basically like, you just see the same people. They all know you rap and they all know they don't like it. I mean, not
Leads
all
dry
of
up
them.
fast.
There's like the 5 or 6 that like kind of give a shit. Fair. But like you realize, I'm never going to sell tickets at work, or I'm never going to get like new fans at work. But then you're at work all the time because what do you do? And then it's like, I don't know about the show times in Toronto, but Montreal still did the late show thing. And now I'm in a pay grade where I lose money to go to a show, which is very different than like, it's fine, I have flexible hours. But like, if I have to be like smiling at 9 in the morning, it's hard to go to a show that starts late. I have to like, actually use vacation days and shit to like navigate that world. So I start performing like a lot less, and there's no way to create that momentum. That's why I started going heavy into the internet. I'm like, I'm never gonna do this in real life shit. So it's super cool that you brought up the fact that you built your social network via work, because I think that's such a powerful thing. That's a great question. Do shows start earlier in Toronto than they do in Montreal? And
Yeah.
do they have the same limitation of the subway for you non-Montrealers?
Yeah. So basically, shit ends around 2 o'clock instead of 3 o'clock. So we have to shift things a whole hour earlier. And then the subway closes around like I think the last one leaves the station at 1:05.
Okay.
So there are like night buses, and there's a lot more like streetcars, which are dependable, I would say.
Are the
But then,
streetcars, do they like, what's the last streetcar time?
shit, I think some run all night, or maybe at least like 3:50 or something.
So you basically have a reasonable way to travel the city at like 2 in the morning in a way where Montreal becomes super unreasonable as of 12:05, 12:30.
Yeah, that's the one place where it has you beat, but that's literally like I don't know.
We're just talking about schedules and times, right? All the other
Yeah,
factors are other independent variables, but I was just, because I never talk about Toronto like that. I don't know about fucking Toronto's like show times. Fair enough, but yeah, it comes up a lot about what time the shows start at here, and how people who depend on public transit hate the late start times, and people who don't hate it.
man, I forgot about that whole part of it. Yeah, it's like I remember the Montreal shows would always start like at least at 11, and it's like, what are you doing?
And I'm like, I just have this vivid memory of you brought a band to CFC, and like I paid to go. I think I wasn't even performing. I just wanted to like see it, because it was a vibe. You actually wanted to be at the vibe.
Yeah,
And then you started at like 12, and I like watched half of one of your songs before I had to run to the metro.
Oh man, fuck the metro.
But like, what are you gonna do? It's a $30 tax then to stay late because now you got to fucking taxi home or shit. Like I was like, as much as I want to see all performance, that was not in my budget.
Man, yeah, I think back on it now, and I'm just like, knowing how I feel now, and that I'm like tired by 8 o'clock. I don't know how the fuck motherfuckers could stay till like midnight and be like, oh yeah, let's jump up and down for this show. Like, hell nah. If I was in my own audience, I would hate me. I'd be like, bro, could we have done this like hours earlier?
Because here's the thing: there is the crowd that wants to go to that, but I'm just saying there's the whole other crowd that wants the earlier part, and there's just two different crowds per se. But I feel like the crowd that wants the later part, that's early for them. You know, they're only starting at like 12. So it's just a weird like in between. Anyway, I also just would watch this thing happen where like show after show, I would open and I would have the full venue, and then the headliner would have like a third of the people I had. And I was like, yo, this is fucking nuts. Like, this guy's the headliner, and I have, because who the fuck was I, right? So I just kept getting these opener, literally like the first or the second person. And it turned out those were the only good slots to have. Like the entire fucking show.
I learned that from touring with Ilya, actually. That like the sweet spot was either early or in the middle. And that like, oh man, there's this misconceived notion that like you should headline and be the last or go at the end kind of shit. But the sweet spot's right in the middle. That's when the most people are there. Or like you said, opening.
The middle, and okay, when I say opening, I'm also saying like the show's been pushed back an hour and a half already because they were waiting for the crowd to come, and so opening of that's not the same thing as like the show started, and then the middle would be at that same part where the opening is in the shows I performed at. I digress, but it's like it's super important stuff to like also identify that like sometimes the headliner on like a 3 hour when you see these events at a headliner, just like on another point, there's like it's like 3 hours the whole thing, like the whole event. It's like the length of a movie, including or maybe 3.5 hours tops, and there's like breaks for pee breaks and shit in the middle. Like they know what they're doing to keep you there. They give you pee breaks and crap. It's so fucking fascinating to watch the structure of like top tier like events versus the local scene. I digress.
Yeah, I mean, you got to break it all into it, and that's where you get people doing interludes and shit, or like other performances, or there's a million things you can do if you're creative.
Yeah,
I miss live shows.
Yeah,
It'd have been a minute.
It's definitely. Well, are you guys in lockdown? Like, what is Ontario like?
Bro, we still just got a new 2-week lockdown.
What does a lockdown mean?
Basically means every single fucking thing is closed or only curbside pickup. You have to order food kind of shit. All the gyms are closed. There's a lot of shit like in Dollaramas that's just like walled off because it's like deemed non-essential. But obviously a bunch of essential shit got lumped into that, so shit is going down.
So you're saying,
man, it's dystopia out here. Like, it's ridiculous.
Do you guys have curfews?
No, luckily we didn't really delve into the curfew shit. That just seemed like an all-around ridiculous leap in the wrong direction. It was just like, oh, okay, so like your answer to protecting against a virus is to just piss everyone off. Cool, that's a great fucking idea.
69% of Quebecers are in favor of the curfew, according to recent polls. And you're just like, great.
I guess it was because these kids wouldn't stop clubbing and shit. I don't know.
I mean, in defense of all the people that's saying it, I happened to go to a end of the week barbecue where they were doing their best to social distance and shit. And I thought we were like bad. I was like feeling bad that I got caught on cam at this shit. So then I'm like cycling my way through Jerry Park, and I come across this loud thumping EDM. And I just take a peek through, and my guy, it was as bad as like the Instagram stories made it look. It was like hundreds of people just fucking raving in Jerry Park because it's big enough that there are enclaves you could throw a rave in, kind of like discreet, like. But it was like 10 p.m. So like, I mean, as much as everyone wants to say it's ludicrous, how do you stop that? Because arresting 500 people is not the same as arresting 5 people.
I just, yeah, I don't know. I honestly think that like every single which way we went about this was completely ass backwards. Like, I don't, you'll see more sense in sci-fi movies where it's like they establish a quarantine zone and they're like, okay, well, we know that no one in this place is infected, so let's just bring everyone outside in and make sure no one's infected and da 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 da. Like, why didn't we do anything like that even? You know, or
Why did the border stay open?
Well, not only borders staying open, but like just zero resources or information being sent when it should. No infrastructure for it. They basically just told everyone, all right, fucking fend for yourselves, let's go. And then like 2 months later, they're like, oh, okay, here's Serb. You know?
That's fair. I was employed during that part. And then when shit got a little more complicated in our world, Serb existed. So like, yeah, I didn't have to deal with that first part. But that first part really did exist, eh? Where like the world shuts down and a lot of people are unemployed for like a significant period of time.
Yeah. Yeah, and you're just there like, okay, we're just being told to stay inside. Okay, they said it's another 2 weeks. Okay, now what? Oh, just another 2 weeks? Okay. Oh, now there's Serb? Okay, cool. After 6 weeks of like not knowing what the fuck is happening and staying inside and washing all your goddamn vegetables and shit. But yeah, I don't know, man.
I can see why there's a lot more distrust for the government coming from your side of the fence than there is from mine in this moment than I ever had a realization for.
Yeah, not that I'm like one to think things divulge into conspiracy or not. I just think that like between greed and stupidity is where the truth exists, and there's definitely a lot of both of those things running the country. And so I could understand why things were rolled out in the way they were rather than a sensible approach. You know what I'm saying?
It was a lot of panic, and then when they realized it was serious, they just ran with it. And I mean, I feel like at the end of the day, no one's gonna have to stress about how we pay for Serb. It's been covered in no longer medical bills. It's just the facts of this economics. If you run it, like you're like, oh shit, all those nursing homes, right? Those were like publicly funded a lot. Like a lot of money went to that shit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, I don't think anyone has to panic about how we're gonna cover this. It's not coming back in middle class taxes. It's just, it's gonna be like excessive economic growth after this shit.
I guess I just like this shit hit, and you kind of just saw everybody's true character in a sense.
That's
and you just saw that like everyone is just sort of scrounging for resources, and then it'll like distort pieces of the truth for different people. And so, for example, you'll have people who like point out that they'll like mismark deaths as COVID deaths, right? Like someone will like die from a motorcycle accident, and then they'll still mark it as a COVID death, and then they'll be like, "That's a conspiracy," and it's not. I see that as like the same shit that went down on 9/11, where it's bureaucracy, and it's like if we mark more COVID deaths, we get more funding from the government. So let's do that so that we get priority because government wants to see more cases. So
has so much historical precedence that I'm sold. That is probably what happens, but it's also what they do with like all of the diseases and shit. I don't know why, but like, I mean, I learned enough on Facebook that this isn't a first or a new. Because I don't know about you, but sometimes I do get caught up reading the comments. And you read the comments, and you watch the both sides, and you watch the hard science versus the pseudoscience, and just... I'm out. I tapped out of this shit. I tried to argue COVID for like a month, and then sometimes I say a thing or two, but I don't know.
I'm not like on the side of it ain't real. I think it's very real and it's fucking people up. And I think long COVID's a motherfucker that I don't want to meet. Just FYI. But I'm also saying that like I can see how the government cut 1,000,000 in one corners, which made shit worse rather than better in the name of reporting, and how things can get skewed from that as well.
Yeah, I just think it's wonky how Quebec doesn't report stuff the rest of Canada. Like our numbers aren't reported the same, our stats aren't reported the same. It's really weird when you get into it. Like there's a lot of yeah. Like we don't
I wasn't
count.
even aware of that.
Yeah, we count cases differently, or at least we did at first. I don't know if we standardized. At some point, I just stopped paying attention. There is still a curfew in my city. I haven't been able to go and enjoy a nighttime run like I wanted to do this year all year, and I can't until maybe August, they're saying, the fall. You know, it's been illegal, like, to have somebody come to my crib
Yeah.
the whole time. It's like, that's part of why this shit's online, you know, because they made it, like, super illegal in, like, September, and it's like, I mean, it was good for me, but, like, shit, after a while, you're like, I don't know if this is, like, healthy. I'm gonna start
It's not,
making
man.
dumb choices soon.
Bro, like, that's everyone I talk to is kind of going through that, and people are like, I had to do a weed detox, you know, which completely fucked my tolerance now. But man, like, everyone's kind of going through it and like going through these weird isolation stages and shit. And so, what am I trying to say here? What am I trying to say? I guess it's just like they tell you to stay in shape to mitigate, you know, the effects of this virus, and then they like we're all prevented from running around, and there's like this assumption that like, you know, you're able to just jog outside, and meanwhile there's curfews and there's no ways to like stay in shape. And I don't know, man, I'm just seeing shit like get bleaker and bleaker, and I don't know if it's on purpose or by accident, but it's insane. I you know, like I
like
went
it's
from
a transitionary phase though, but go on. You feel like
I went from like working out a couple times a week to like lying in bed for a damn year, you know, and just like trying to find the right medicine to like, you know, be okay with the world when it was on fire, feeling like that's a futile plan.
yeah, I can relate to that. I'm just a workaholic. That's how I cope with shit. I mean, it's probably not healthy to go live every day to the extent that I do. I'm trying to vacation. Still, you know, it is what it is.
You build a routine though.
It helped. It helped a lot. It helps me to know that like there's a reason to wake up at 6 something in the morning every day, but if I can't exercise properly, like just because it's weird. Like I'm not a morning person, and so the only times of the day where like you want, like, just to know that like 9:30 right now. I mean, it's better than 8. Trust.
Yo, 8's ridiculous. It's 8 in 3 minutes.
No, dude, it was like there would be a noticeable increase in web traffic on my shit because I'm live. I'm done. Like either way, I'm usually live till past 9:30. So I'm gonna say, great. When it hits 10, maybe I'll notice it in my life. For real, it's like it's a gift. Yeah, like one time I was like, I'm done at like 8:45. I'm like, oh, we can go for a walk. Like, yo, you shouldn't be planning life like that. That's fucking whack. You know what I mean?
It
like,
is fucked, right? That's like, and we got so used to it so fast.
And then like today, like I went out and we went to the fucking bird sanctuary, and I forgot how to budget like go home time. I really was just so bad at like planning the bus route home that I was like late to start this stream for real. And I'm like, holy shit, like, yo, it's weird that like it seems stupid, right? But as I think about it, I'm like, when was the last time we went somewhere like that? Even because it's winter, it's only like recent that it's nice weather, right? When we went somewhere and like I had to worry about like buses. I don't know. Life's fucking like I'm not excited. And then having to go back to an office place sounds like the weirdest shit in the world.
Bro, I can't even fathom it. But yeah, like I feel like I've lost a lot of like my social education. And I just like, I don't know how to interact with people anymore. I feel like a robot or an alien or some shit.
I can do
times.
like the one-on-ones pretty okay. But put me in a group and watch how I'm either like dominate the conversation or I shut the fuck up and I don't say anything and I'm a fucking weirdo.
Yeah, eh? Depends on what stage of stoned I'm at, and I might not shut the fuck up or completely shut the fuck up.
I get comfortable or I don't. It's hard to tell. If people know me, I tend to like be like, okay, they know what they're getting. But with strangers, it's like fucking weird. I don't remember all of the rules. Like there's this whole set of rules that I got used to, like things you can talk about and things you can't talk about. And I learned this over vast years of making uncomfortable conversational choices and adding this to a thing, like talking about rim jobs, very select company.
Yeah.
select company.
No, I get you.
Talking about politics, less select company, but still pretty select. And then you can kind of gauge the hows and what.
Sorry, that's my alarm.
That's fair. You can kind of like figure out all the different things. And then I realized I've talked to my girlfriend and a bunch of rappers and shit for a year.
That changes the way you talk to people.
All of it, man. Like, I mean, I can code switch I on a Zoom call, but like we're talking about like when we get into loosey goosey Sanka set times. Bro,
Yeah.
I'm not ready for that. I'm not ready to go to a party with my colleagues. That is more scary than anything else. Even like the rap side, like, yo, y'all see this internet polished interviewer guy.
I'm just like, I'm rough around all edges now. I'm just completely. I had like a crazy person beard up until last week. Just like fully throwing myself into the like isolation station and shit. And then I had to cut it off for a video, which is gonna drop soon, which will be exciting. But yeah, man, it's gonna be a process of like readjusting the civilization, and I think a lot of people are gonna like walk out of this broken as fuck and not willing to fix themselves. I don't know, like already I'm noticing it just in terms of like I was on the highway today and I'm such a nervous passenger. And so like Fresh Kills is driving us from Rona to Rona to pick up some supplies and shit. And essentially like we're hitting on the highway and I'm watching like everyone's either asleep at the wheel or like crazy aggressive, risky and shit. And it just feels like every time I'm on the road, it's even nuttier and nuttier because everyone's been in this like enraged state, trapped at home. And so it's just going to have its impacts on society. And since a lot of people don't go to therapy, it's going to come out in some weird ticking time bomb ways. And so I'm just sort of predicting that.
I predict a lot more hedonism than violence. I think there's going to be a reaction.
That's because you're living in Montreal.
Ooh, that's a good point. My city is more likely to pop a bunch of mollies and have orgies.
Yeah. See, Toronto's more likely to like eat the rich, or the rich are more likely to eat the poor.
That is fascinating, and I really like that you said that. So, okay, let's talk about being in Toronto. You've rapped about Toronto. It's like, so like I live in the city that willingly re-elected a fucking crack kid, the 416. That line like stuck out to me because it's very like, I mean that's exactly what happened. So I mean there's nowhere else to like put it.
And now it's his brother running things. It's the crackhead's brother who was a fucking coke dealer back in the day, and like a suburban coke dealer to top things off. And man, he's running shit, and he's pretty much just telling everyone, "No sick days, fuck you. I'm gonna go build some highways."
Yeah, it's wild. Like when you think about it. But what's it like to be in Toronto? I mean, I've seen you post a lot of aggressive things on the book with regards to things like rent and stuff. And I'll be honest, I'm in Montreal. If I think I have problems, I don't by comparison to you. And a lot of the more rent issues and working life. Like my homeboy lives in Toronto. He lives Yonge and Eglinton area. And I've heard him complain about shit where it feels like he has to spend more time putting into figuring out how he's going to pay his bills, thus more resources, and therefore it's a slower ascent. What's crazy is this is after the lack of taxes, right? Because y'all get taxed less, so you get higher numbers. Like, yo, I found out what his net is, and his net was way closer to mine than I was like, no. You know, sometimes you hear some numbers, not to say I make, it's just different positions, but like when this, anyway, years ago.
But I mean that
and then you get
tax
to the
difference is a
point.
percentage.
But like
Sorry,
it ends up like it's a pretty big percentage. It manifested to like a sizable number. Like we're talking a good 150, 200 a paycheck. Like it's pretty big, in terms of like what it could benefit, or at least 100. Okay. As your salary goes. Yeah, for real. It was like a sizable amount. Yo, Quebec gets taxed heavy, like heavy.
I'd rather lose $100 a month than
that's where I was going with it.
a month.
So you get to this next part where the rent gets brought up into it, and then it's like, bro, that's how much you pay. And then I went to the grocery store because I've been to Toronto now a couple of times, and I remember going around the grocery store, and I went my usual run of what I would normally eat, And I was looking at the prices, and I was like, yo, I may as well just fucking order food at this point, because like the actual price of like produce and shit isn't that far off from what I was spending at like McDonald's or whatever, which
Oh
is
no,
very
yeah.
different than Montreal. So I thought that was fascinating too. Like, how expensive is Toronto?
It is unrealistically expensive. It is like, put it to you this way, that shitty apartment I moved into was $800 when I moved here, and now that exact same apartment with zero renovations is going for $1,600 a month.
Wow, that's a
Yeah,
lot
and
more than I
so
pay for a 4.5.
yeah, 1,600 for a shitty fucking basement apartment that like nobody would want to live in, and that's like the standard now. Like most basements are going for 1,800, and there's nothing that isn't a basement because they tore down all the apartments to build condos, and so the only thing left is people converting their basements into a place to live, or an overpriced ass condo starting in the hundreds, like 100,000s and shit. And so you're just like, okay, well, we're doomed in that respect. And also, you realize how much daylight plays into like mental health and shit when you don't have windows. And then additionally, like when you're living in people's basements, the noise bleeds through, so you're like a lot more, at their beck and call, and they'll like tell you specific times you gotta shut shit down. And then so yeah, you're trying to like offset this, and you're working, and the minimum wage is like $11 for the longest time. Now it's 14, and so all your money is going towards your rent, or you're trying to cheap out on food. And I realize it is the cycle of like, so your only value is your labor, but the thing is, you're sacrificing your health to eat cheaper food to save on housing, which is going to make your labor less effective faster, and you're going to be, not only are you like working against this fucking uphill just trying to save against housing, but you're also putting your body through shit so you can't work for as long just to save bucks on that house that shouldn't be that expensive to begin with. Not to mention like fucking, I don't know, man. Also there's transportation, which is like in Montreal, the bus pass is like 80-ish per month kind of thing.
Yeah, something 85, I think now.
Yeah, and it was like 160 in Toronto,
Yeah,
which
that
is
was
literally
another.
double.
Yeah. I don't know how to respond to that. I looked into it because I was curious. It's a lot bigger. Like, it's sizably bigger. Everything about the TTC is bigger. So, like, it's hard for me to say, like, is that a fair price or not? Like, it's just so much bigger.
Well, the one thing though that I will say is that like, if it ran normally, then fine. But it breaks down every single fucking day, and you end up having to either Uber or like, yeah, basically you end up having to Uber, which costs more money. So you can't make it to work on time ever. You end up living in the outskirts of the city, just to save a buck. I don't know, man. This shit just feels like a rigged game, you know? So after a while, you're like, okay, it kind of fucks with you, fucks with your mental health, and it's kind of starting to become like a lot of what I rap about, realizing that like I can't really change any of the situations I'm in, but the one thing I can do is I can put these feelings that a lot of people have into more simple, palatable terms, and kind of just guide everyone's rage so that it's not misdirected at each other, but rather at the actual culprit of why things are hard. You know what I'm saying?
It's very Rage Against the Machine of you.
Yeah. Because, yo, guaranteed, like, rage is going to get misdirected, and the more that gentrification spreads, where it's going to spread to everywhere, I'm seeing it in your hood as well as mine, that's going to put people under pressure and shit, right? And the more people are under pressure, the more they're going to fucking fight against one another type deal, because people don't really have outlets. And the more, I remember the times in my life where I was more under the gun for rent, I wasn't thinking as clearly, and I was thinking the world was out to get me, versus the times where I had more things in life, I was more focused on giving back and working with other people. And so
Shit. Okay, I hear what you're saying.
there's like an actual fucking like measured balance that happens to your mental health with that kind of stuff. And so the more people get deprived of that kind of mental clarity, the more shit's just gonna be bleak and rough out there, and people are gonna be like greedy out of need kind of deal, you know? where it turns into like dog eat dog shit, and so it's like it doesn't have to be that way, and I'm
I
trying
don't
to
think
put
it's
that into words.
gonna, like, I don't know, maybe it's because of where I live versus Toronto, but I know that what I'm seeing happen. Hey, yo, shout out Lindell who says you have some interesting views. Yo, there has been like chat interaction coming through. A few of these questions might not have all been mine.
Oh, yo, actually, is there a way I could peep the chat as well? Because I've been
Twitch.tv
in the
slash
blind here.
behind that suit. Although this one
Here,
was on YouTube. But yeah.
let me get on Twitch.
Yo, hold up. While we're doing that, I'm going to test something, and it might annoy y'all. I'm going to run a 1-minute ad break because apparently that's going to make an algorithm boost. So since you're going to do that anyway, I'm testing this, not because I care about ad money. And if you're a subscriber of the channel, it is what it is. But basically, my homeboy Lemef was like,
I'm gonna tune in. Everyone's gonna be like, "Fuck this guy."
if you like run a 1-minute ad break, it'll like make it so that when people show up at your channel randomly, they don't have to watch an ad, and then it boosts you in the algorithm. So I am basically doing this as a test. And it feels awkward because I don't want to be the kind of asshole that runs 1-minute ads in the middle of my interviews. So Chris, don't edit this out. This is a real thing. I want to keep it in. Shout out Chris Chrome. No, like he knows. There's just some shit where I would edit it out, but it's just fucking weird that this is like a thing that Twitch wants you to do. And then apparently what happened after is he got an algorithm boost and he started getting more random people coming through. So we'll see what happens as we are back from our ad break, everyone. Sorry about that if it was annoying. Was it terrible? Did y'all hate ad breaks? You can let me know if it's like the worst experience ever. Because apparently this buys us 20 minutes of no ads for the people who... Because, yo, if you click off and you click back on, you have to rewatch an ad. It's just the real reels of Twitch right now.
I'm still watching this ad. God dang.
I mean, I don't... It's not even like ads is good money on Twitch. It's like everything else that's good money on Twitch. So I'm okay with not having ads. I would rather not. It just comes with the territory.
I'm still a student of Twitch. Oh, there we go. We back.
Yeah. I ran an ad. I don't know if you saw the ad or not. I hit the 1-minute ad. Oh, Clarity sees the ad because Clarity comes to the channel just now. So I don't know. Maybe not everyone gets it. I ran the 1-minute ad break. I don't know. It seems to be random. It's a fucking experiment. That's what Twitch is. We're all learning together. It's like a community. It's this place where a lot of us who maybe some of us are in positions where we're feeling more charitable and giving back because privilege in our lives. Fair enough. But it still lets us look at the circumstance and see a different outlook on this. I'm seeing a lot of people becoming aware that mental health matters for the first time in their lives. As in all of them. Every one of the people you described is at least aware of it for the first time in their life, that maybe there is something to look at. I'm watching people understand themselves better, and while there is a lot of rage and lack of outlets, that's fixable. Honestly, it's a lot more... Tinder will fix a lot of that once you're allowed. I promise there's gonna be a little baby boom if this is my prediction. I swear.
No doubt. The COVID baby boomers.
Because right now it's like, yo, everybody's libido is probably low right now, is the facts of it. Like, I don't think people's really like... I mean, you're either not getting any because like you can't, and so you're probably willing to smash anything that walks, or you've had access the whole time and life got in the way and you're like in that mopey vibes.
I'm in my mopey vibes, but nah, we all right. We doing all right.
No, I just mean like everyone. And I don't mean it like anybody's individually. I mean, I predict though that when the times get like you're allowed to go out and you're feeling the vibe and you're able to just be around people and that like euphoric real life, everyone's gonna be a little wild.
Once again, actually, yeah, I can see that being a lot of other places, and to a certain degree, there's like negative visualization that I'm doing in terms of like the housing crisis.
No, I mean,
I'm sure people are gonna be like,
but I think that with the internet, it creates a lot more opportunities for outlet. Like, here's an example. There's this dude I met in Gatineau, right? So if we're gonna talk about a place where your hip hop struggle is gonna be real, it's gonna be Gatineau, alright? So he creates this thing called Bring the Bars. So he does this like Facebook group, and you know what he does? He listens to everybody's music and creates this listen for listen thing. It's not follow for follow, it's listen for listen, which is nifty because at least now you have to listen to people's music. And then he finds like his like 30 best homies out of this, and they kind of move it to the next thing, and he ends up throwing an award show for the squad. And I'm like, let's be real. Smart. This type of shit couldn't have existed before. So
no, but now we got all the time to just sit here and like
do things,
build that. Yeah.
And I think that's where like the outlet situation changes. It's not fully and 100% true that people are completely without options. I think we just have to learn to accept that there will be new options available for us.
And we have to find those. But talking about soft dick, I have to go to the bathroom again. I will be right back.
Don't worry about that at all. You're back. I had you like covered up. I was doing this did I comment on your music videos game, and I'm like, I'm failed at this game. I was not doing high on my ratio. And then I saw Baus podcast commented, and I'm like, C's fucking real.
C's in the house?
Nah, he just commented on your music video a year ago, and I was like, that makes him a real one. Nah, but C's cool.
The comment ratio. Yeah. He's a dope one.
I like him a lot. I ran into him and Tiffany one time in Montreal. Just we had a little chit chat. This was since the pandemic started. It was one of the only social interactions I had, and it was organic, right? Like when you bump into a friend and you stay 2 meters apart, and you feel no guilt because like you didn't actually plan it or anything.
Yeah, that's the OG power couple.
They're real cool.
That's C and Tiff.
Fair enough.
Actually, he's got music coming out soon that we worked on together. I produced a whole album for him, called Relentless.
Yo, that's fresh.
Yo, we started that shit in 2015, and he's been polishing off the songs, and they sound incredible. They sound amazing, and they're gonna drop hopefully this year. So shout out to C.
But he's a very
I'm not spilling the beans.
busy guy. Like they've got like everything going. Like they've got multiple ventures going that are really interesting, from like social media optimization to beer. A lot of beer.
Yeah, they're really good at juggling and like wearing multiple hats. And I'm finding less and less, like I'm finding myself less and less adept at that. Where like I try to do it all, but like I gotta play to my strengths a bit. You know what I mean?
They definitely 50 down, like triple down on their strengths though. So it's like a little less that like, not to like break the illusion, but they do a lot of things that are very similar. And it's just amazing because they're able to go corporate with it and then go fun with it. But it's ultimately the same set of content, marketing, creation world, right? And even music in a sense can be boiled down to, in the internet era at least, content marketing.
Even that whole piece they wrote about like charging what you should or what you expect from customers, like help me get a whole new price bracket. Sorry, I cut you off. That what were you saying?
Nah, I don't know if I saw that piece, but I can see how it's a powerful thing. I've definitely like heard them talk about stuff like that, and I've seen a recent thing on that subject, so it might have even been theirs. I don't know. But charging what you're worth is a fascinating thing. You know what I saw? I saw somebody post the weird question is, what's your budget? As in like, yo, that's a weird question to ask somebody, because it almost sounds like you're trying to optimize what you can get out of a person rather than assessing your value as a person and knowing the value of what your services cost.
True that, eh? I mean, I do know that like there's a stark difference between what people on the West Coast versus East Coast are willing to pay for shit, I think. But that being said, yeah, I always feel weird asking what's your budget. I always feel like it's gonna fuck me over in the long run. I'm like, why negotiate when I just set, I'm 500. I'm 500 a beat.
Yeah, it's a good price though.
Yeah.
That's right.
Man, I gotta get back to the production game.
You're a very talented producer.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of the production game, I actually do have a bunch of stuff coming up in terms of like things I produce for others as well as myself. I got that Me and Boney EP that you've been hearing singles from, with Somebody Fucking Up and My Way and all that on there. So that's dropping on the 11th of June. I'm mad excited about that. So I'm gonna have to send that your way for a sneak peek.
Yeah, that'd be dope though. But for real, like, how's the live scene in Toronto outside of open mics?
Um, it's getting tougher because more and more venues are shutting down. There was like there's like sub pockets in a way where like you could have like three different rap scenes and none of them know about each other, which I've found a lot. Um, so that type of shit happens, and then there's like an indie scene that seems to flourish. That's mostly localized downtown. The punk scene has like a couple venues, and then there's like a big ass EDM scene. They got a whole beach, and then yeah, I don't know. It's a different scene, I guess. Versus like Montreal is kind of all jumbled together a little bit and like all packed in like Crescent Street or St. Lawrence.
Yeah, it's shifted, right? Like, especially when they start banning hip hop.
Oh man, well that was just a fucked up policy to begin with.
I mean, I don't think that everything's banned right now, but I also just get the feeling that not everyone's gonna welcome back hip hop with open arms in every venue. It's not like, I'm pretty sure that like you'll get like a tax, as in you'll be allowed, but yo, what you're gonna get when you find out it's a hip hop show, it costs this much. That's what I think.
Yeah,
But yo,
well,
I'm like, yo, there's no way that like George Sardonakis or whatever the fucking guy that bought all the bars. I can't remember the dude's name. But like,
Sardakis or whatever.
yeah, that dude.
Sargakis.
Yeah, Sargakis. So that dude, like, yo, he was already copping like everywhere legit, and then raising the drink prices. Belmont got sold, the drink prices raised, and what this raising drink prices thing did was it like made it really hard for me to convince anybody I know to go to this shit. Because yo, I swear, $20 pitcher rum coke Belmont. My guy, you sold tickets just by saying those words. People really like $20 rum and coke pitchers. They don't actually give a fuck. They're just like, I can get drunk on that cheap, and they in. That was a sales
I think
pitch.
like
But
we gotta
then,
rethink the block party.
yo, the block
of
party is a
venues.
big move. I was thinking private parties in general, loft parties, yo, cause yo, the venues, yo, look, it goes live again. How many venues died? I'm sure it happened in your place. Who's
Man,
gonna buy
all
all
the
this
venues out
shit?
here is fucked.
Who's,
Like,
but who's gonna buy these venues? Who's gonna own this
well, that's the
shit?
thing is that they're all turning into condos one by one. And so it's just like that's why I'm noticing this trend everywhere, and I'm seeing like everyone hopping on this like real estate hustle. It's like there's cryptocurrency that everyone's hopping on, and then if you got like a bigger ass budget, you're hopping on real estate, which is like the cryptocurrency of rich people in the sense that no one knows what the fuck they're doing or funding, and they're just hopping on it. Versus
Yo,
like you'll look into cryptocurrency and find out, oh, okay, cool, like this is human trafficking. I fucked up. I shouldn't invest in this.
I mean, that's a big statement. But anyway, Bitcoin has a fascinating history, but it's a big statement. Some cryptos are legitimate. Some cryptos are things. I don't know, man. I just have avoided a lot of crypto because I said
Yeah.
this feels like gambling, and I don't want to make a lot of money gambling. That's one of my biggest fears. Is to like, it seems stupid, right? But what happens if you like put $20 into a crypto and you do make 50K? Yo, like, how are you gonna perceive gains, like in the future? How are you gonna ever recreate that dopamine hit? Like,
Yeah.
like
That
that's
could
what I.
fuck things up. It's
So I
like a
think
wire
about it
loose.
like that, right? Like I remember, like I remember watching my dad deal with gambling, and it scared me a bit. So with this like whole thing, I'm like, yo, so maybe, yo, like if we had just put money into Doge, right? My debt's clear. It's like, now I'm indulging thoughts like that, right? Like I could have just invested in Doge, and then you look at the Doge, and you look at all the crypto just crashed, and I'm like, yo, but what happens if that solves all my problems? What do I learn? Where's like the lesson? How do I handle my money better? Am I gonna have the discipline or the self-control? Yo, there's like so many factors that come with getting 50K liquid at one time that are like, I don't know how to deal with, but I know I watched a lot of people do DMT after posting about crypto.
Oh, for real? There's a correlation to that?
Yo, I happened to like, I found into a pocket of people by like Waterloo. which is where a lot of new millionaires just existed. I promise a lot of new money just hit Waterloo because that's like
Yeah,
the big tech college of university in Canada. So anybody there would have known about crypto and really known about crypto, right? So a bunch
I've
of
seen a
people,
lot of. Sorry, go ahead.
and then all of a sudden, some of these posts get wild in these comment threads. I don't want to like go into names. Some of these posts get wild, and a lot of them did DMT like not long after making crazy money and driving in Lambos and shit. And you're like, wow. Yo, imagine going from broke to DMT and Lambos.
Your life changes significantly. Yeah, I definitely didn't do anything on Dogecoin, but like all the apps I have prevented me from buying it. They're like, you can't in Canada.
Mm.
Which I'm seeing a lot of. I'm sure there's a way to go around it, but I just don't fucking have the patience. And that shit's annoying. And,
I don't know, man. I just feel
yeah,
like
man.
there's a stress with it. I'm not like they all say don't put money in you're not prepared to lose, and I'm like, well, I don't have money I'm prepared to lose.
Yeah.
And
I
like
have this. I have like a small system set up where like it's just like anytime it bleeds over a certain amount, I put it into a different account, and then I just sort of trickle that down, and then I create piles of 50 and just build multiple piles. And
I
then
mean,
that's like just
I respect
over
that.
time pennies. I figure that shit pays exactly as much as like a Spotify play.
Yo, I
Or,
run
like,
my
a little
Spotify overnight sometimes. A lot. I mean, I forget to do it, but when I'm real vigilant, I can pay myself $15 a month on Spotify plays.
Yeah, I have this nighttime playlist thing set up actually for all the no damn good people, and I just run through it once a night when I remember to do it, and that could at the very least pay for your Spotify.
No, it
Like,
it does though, yo. Like me and my girlfriend, and then I have a couple other people on the squad that are willing to do it here and there, and it can average at 15 a month.
there you go.
And
You got
that's
build catalog that way. You should
um,
join the no damn good playlist.
yeah, for sure. I like that idea. Okay, so the live scene's in a weird place. The geography of Toronto is huge. So, and you're basically trying to deal with it. Because that was another thing my friend pointed out about trying to find a job was that he could not find a job that paid him well that was within realms of what he could travel to.
Yeah, that's like the tricky part that I was talking about, where you like end up living on the outskirts of the city, but the jobs are on like the complete opposite sides. A lot of it's built for cars and not for public transit in that respect. Um, and especially like if every single commute with public transit is like a gamble on whether you're gonna get trapped in the subway and be late to work. That's just like so that you have to budget a whole extra hour into your commute, which ends up being 2 hours or potentially longer. Man, it's nerve wracking, you know? Like, there's only so many hours in the day, and imagine adding 2 hours to and from work, and you work a double, you're just gonna fucking destroy your own life. You're just gonna, like, probably eat like shit, or drink like shit, or, sleep like shit. It's gonna take a toll. So that, that definitely presents a problem for a lot of people.
Oh,
Especially
but
if you don't
like,
drive.
so I can see how that's going to make a huge push for working from home. Actually, Bonnie brought that up in the chat, work from home. Yo, because I don't
True.
feel like half of this shit because I don't have to go anywhere. I'm just able to work right here from this very spot.
Yeah. Working from home is dope. I'm still like wrestling with finding the discipline to do it. Like I'm all over the place. I'm realizing more and more like how ADHD I am, and I've been trying to find the right meds for that shit. And so I've been toying with Wellbutrin for a bit, but now I'm off it, trying to find a better med. And so,
I
like,
did.
it's frustrating because it will literally affect my career and my response time, this like crucial posts kind of thing. Or it'll change the nature of my mood so that I'll rant more. And it's like I'm just trying to pursue mental wellness, and it's like this fucking minefield that I'm navigating through. And in real time, I'm watching these resources get gutted so that like they're discharging people early and shit. And like my psychologist is gonna be like, okay, yeah, so we're discharging you in like 2 weeks, kind of thing. And I'm like, yeah, okay, but like, the fuck meds am I supposed to take? So it's this like thing that's just evaporating fast. And man, I don't know. It's just like it's wild times, and so trying to work from home on top of wrestling with all of that, on top of like finding where I can even like, work from, not even technically like having a full space that I live in kind of deal, because I'm living with people. Um, yeah, man, shit takes a toll. That's wild.
Yeah, that's like, with all of that though, you were still able to drop multiple projects.
Yeah, we still got the album dropping on the 11th, so like I definitely found a couple grooves where I was able to just like zone into certain projects, and so we ended up dropping, like My Way and Somebody Fucking Up and Eye for an Eye, which I still have to send the share of the proceeds to the Innocence Project today because it was music industry payday. So I got to calculate that tonight. And then yeah, still staying consistent. I mean, I'm lucky. I got a good team of people around me in terms of Boney Washington and Skeevious Tips and Danielle Knoll, who are all super talented and run the label. And I've also been working with Mac Downey, uh, just in terms of like networking and shit and trying to plan the year out. So, luckily I got like a good circle of people. And also, I run a lot of shit by my girl. Um, so,
It's
you're only
useful.
as good as your woman, right?
Yeah, I run a lot
Shout
of
out
shit.
to Emma.
I get that a lot. It's very handy to have a good woman base. Yo, I literally heard this dude say that people who find a partner that's suitable for them end up having a net worth each increase of 70%. I was like, that's serious. That's like a huge stat to like pro marriage. Maybe not marriage per se, but pro union with somebody.
You gotta find your puzzle piece, man. That's what it is.
So yo, how are you adapting to the virtual realms? I mean, I know you've dibbled and dabbled with the Twitches, and you've got some stuff that's coming on. But could you see yourself actually like getting onto a regimen of doing some Twitch shit? Cause like, yo, even just you telling Myer stories would attract people.
Right? Yeah, I mean, like, so the way my brain works is I need to have a partner in that endeavor who is very, like, time management focused. Um, and that might change, depending on, like, when Emma and I move out and get our own space. Because we're crashing at her parents right now. This is a
Mm.
sewing room, but it's also a makeshift studio. And yeah, so like depending on if we get our own spot, like noise levels and shit will differ, and we could do different things. So I might like start a morning show or evening show or whatever. But yeah, for the time being, right now, I kind of need that extra push to like show up, and that's just me being like real about where I'm at in terms of discipline. I'm still figuring out like shit in terms of like wellness and just exercise and all that. So I feel like this year kind of threw all my balances off, and now I'm just rediscovering my like self balance and career balance. And so, to answer your question in the most long winded way I can, yeah, Twitch will be a part of that, and it'll be like it's a piece of the puzzle I want to get to, but like at the time being, I'm just trying to figure out where that fits into the schedule. If you know what I'm saying.
No, it's a super legitimate thing that I don't think a lot of people consider. Like, I'm super pushing Twitch on everyone, but that like schedule thing is big. Like, yo, knowing that you have to go live like next week, I'm off, except that I'm not. I gotta go live Monday through Thursday at like whatever, 5:30 p.m., 6 p.m., whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I'm not really off, and then it's like you have to structure your whole day around streams, and like there is this really big time commitment of like really like commitment, and if you're doing it right, you have to be regular, because
Yeah.
otherwise, like, yo, maybe what happens is next person goes on to the next person's stream and sees something else, and boom, you lost them just because you were late. Like, that's a
I
real
mean,
thing
shit
that can
happens,
happen.
and also it's worth noting that like my schedule does fluctuate quite a bit in the sense
Mm.
that like you know I'll get into a routine and then something will happen and then we shift gears slightly and now I'm doing shit at a different time or pace.
Nah,
Um,
these are all realistic concerns. I don't actually think the live works for like. I mean, I think it's like there's a million ways to approach it. It doesn't have to like fully be regular. I'm still trying to figure it out. I find that there's a power in regularity because it lets people plan their lives in anticipation of your show.
I'm looking for like regularity. So like, I can see that. There's a couple clubhouse rooms I'm on where it's like I'm
Yo, what?
counting on them to be open at the time they're open, kind of deal.
What's Clubhouse like? I'm a Samsung person, so
Oh, you a Samsung guy? I
yeah.
think they just made it available.
Did they?
But
No
yeah,
shit.
so you should get on that motherfucker.
Yo, I'm
It's
fucking.
dope, but there's also a lot of trash. So it's like, I don't know. There's like a bunch of scammy motherfuckers, and then there's just like thirsty shit, and then there's ratchet shit, and then there's deep shit, and then there's politics, and then there's like civic talks, philosophy, and like depending on what you look for, you'll find it. So it's kind of like there's 1,000,001 rooms with 1,000,001 conversations happening, and depending on what kind of mood you're in, you can walk into that room and have that conversation.
Yo, I swear I just downloaded Clubhouse. I'm like fucking tripping that this is available on Android. I didn't even know. That was a thing when I learned for the first time. There's what I call the Apple tax, where
Apple tax.
I can justify it in a long-winded way on tech reasons why an app developer would in fact go through Apple and not Android to build out exclusivity. And the quickest version is who the fuck's poor with an iPhone? That's the real answer. I mean, there are, but like at some point or another, like the average person on an iPhone 6 through 10 has a higher income threshold / potential / will make more money. This is just stats. This is my opinion. Than the Android sphere, because you have to keep in mind, there just really aren't cheap iPhones around the world. Like you talk about somebody in Ukraine, Pakistan, places like that. They can't afford iPhones. It's like the super wealthy that get the iPhone. So like when you talk global markets, everything, right? Basically, end of the day, a person on an iPhone is a lot more likely to spend $5 to $10 on your app. That's what it's going to boil down to, because they're not going to think twice, because they couldn't afford the iPhone in the first place. You're in a position in life that lets you get an iPhone. At that point, your perception on apps is different. Whereas Android has models that are dirt fucking cheap on the same operating system as me. So you unlock it in the Play Store, and you unlock it to the world. So, Clubhouse leveraged exclusivity like a motherfucker. It has re-inspired my entire approach to what I want to be with my brand. They made it they made it invite only. So I got a Clubhouse code like mad early. It was great. And then I couldn't put the app on anything. It was terrible. It was like December. I got you the fucking code. That was dope. I was able to help there. But like, so Clubhouse appears, and then I realized in this time, oh shit, they're not going to release this to Android because they want celebrities on it. That was part of their marketing. Was that like the cast of The Lion King did Christmas carols. Now they wouldn't do this if all of a sudden Clubhouse was like open to the world and everybody, the celebrities ain't going to be in Clubhouse like that no more. They're already on to the next thing.
Yeah, they're trying to dip out fast. But yeah, it's weird. And I was just sort of hearing it as like you said, the cast the Lion King was on.
Yeah, December.
Caroling. But I just heard cast and I was like, oh yeah, it's like a caste system of like, oh, they only let the iPhones, which is implied luxury and the wealthier, and so it was this luxury thing that only like the wealthy could attend. And yeah, and I'm seeing so much divisive shit like that lately that it's just kind of depressing.
I think it's just that it's like that has always been there, but it's never been so transparent, as in like you can't hide it no more. But I mean, even then, think about it. I made a terrible business choice getting this phone in hindsight, when this shit costs the same as the iPhone. It's not like there's a fucking difference. I could have got the iPhone, but on some fucking iPhone shit, I didn't. And then I discovered this tax later on my Clubhouse, and then I thought, yo, what did I miss? Like, what? How much is in the App Store for Apple that like I never heard of? How many waves or individual things or ideas that turned into apps I used that were there that I never heard of? over the last like
Yo,
7-8 years, and now I'm like sitting there tripping like fuck that, now I have to get an iPhone, fuck that. And then I found out about this blue and green shit, and that there are girls that will not respond if you have the wrong text color because you're on an Android, and that's a real thing in Tinderland. And
I thought that was a joke.
I've heard a couple of people, and they kind of made it sound like they were joking, but they also kind of made it sound like they were not joking.
Hmm.
And I think it's more like, yo, if you're an iPhone person, you follow this cultural set of norms, and if you Android, you follow this set of cultural norms. And they, at a base level, in an online dating world, you do to make snap decisions. It's the only way to filter.
A couple things I want to add on to that actually would be shit. Now my brain's like deviating in two different directions, but going to the iPhone thing, like, and all those memes that we see. Did you know that Apple actually spends money on a department to make those memes to put out and leak out into meme culture? To imply that Android is an inferior product. That's actually been documented, I think.
That's amazing. Kudos
Unless,
to Apple. That's gangster.
yeah,
Corporate
so
gangsterism.
that's some crazy shit. And then the other thing I was gonna say is like talking about caste systems or just like wealth and like have and have not kind of thing. I've even noticed that here in Toronto in terms of like the coffee selection, like upper class or like richer people will get Starbucks versus like working class and construction workers will get like Timmy's. And so there's this red cup walking around and then there's this white cup walking around. And it's just like, yuppies and working class kind of shit. And I'm like, oh, that's even weird of a divide, like just down to the fucking street level kind of thing.
That is a huge thing I'm going to look for. I bet it's real. I don't really see people doing Timmy's runs at my office place. They don't do it. They do. I mean, okay, there's a few people that really like Timmy's, but like, nah, people go to Starbucks. That's like the flex. You want to show up. There are literally people that will like prank each other by buying them like fucking pumpkin lattes and shit. Like, it's a prank to buy somebody the wrong coffee from Starbucks. That's a real thing in my company.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm not in the Starbucks club, but like, you have to participate, and it's a club, so you have to show up with 4 Starbuckses to get in the club, and then you initiate it, and then the next person does it, and then the next person, and so they create this circuit of like people buying like, and with Timmy's, man, you can just on $10 buy that whole motherfucker, show up with some cups, and be like, coffee.
Going back to what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, right. I'm kind of in this weird position where like I'm stuck getting Starbucks because I'm in this fucking Tim Hortons boycott.
What?
Well, basically, when the shit hit the fan with COVID, they kind of strongholded their employees and was like, okay, well, if you take a sick day, you're fired, but also you have to show up regardless of this COVID shit. And they kind of just put people in a position where they were fucked if they did and fucked if they didn't. So it's like, how you gonna fire people in the middle of a pandemic for getting sick and like not offer them sick days? So yeah, I was like, okay, well that's kind of gross that Timmy's did that. So on principle, I'm not gonna get their coffee anymore because it was shitty anyway and it was cheap, and I might as well.
What's crazy is that there's no in between. There's no other option. It's just like Starbucks or like there's no like just random coffee shops.
Fewer and fewer, and all the random coffee shops that there are like, it's not like a mom and pop joint. It's like a bored, rich ass millennial kid kind of thing, where it's just like super posh and like super. I don't know what the word is, but it was just like not inviting vibes. It's just like very like yuppie and like,
Yeah, like they want you to stick around and buy like 5 other things rather than like get a coffee and go.
Yeah.
I feel that. But that's also fascinating because I never thought about that coffee cup test. I'm gonna fucking really look for that for real. But that's like
it's a trippy thing once you realize it.
But it's nifty that you're seeing it because it's gonna play out pretty much everywhere. It's gonna be in the virtual realms. It's gonna be in like, even with Twitch. I mean, I have a better computer than other people, so I can just kind of test things faster or have a more privileged operating. Even my boy's computer renders videos slower than mine. Just these little things like stack up, and like you got to be able to get that shit. I mean, I can't make a move like that now, but to be able to make a move like that, like you don't often get opportunities like that, and I don't often personally consider the struggle of like the situation where you're just stuck in your room and you don't even know how you're gonna make that initial bank. So you're staring at like a crypto, and you're staring at a this, and this becomes like the only options.
Yo, not to mention that, like, I don't know about other people, but I've noticed that, like, my dopamine receptors have been going crazy with, like, social media and shit, to the point where I'm way more addicted to social media than I used to be. And I think it's because of a lack of, like, physical exercise and boundaries and going outside, so that, like, I seek my enjoyment and I seek my little excitement from, like, sugar and social media and bad things. And so... yeah, I don't know, man. I'm just like, that's gonna have weird, fucked up long-term effects for sure.
I mean,
And it can't be healthy for your psyche.
I mean, I just got really used to talking to people on Zoom calls and shit. Like, yo, this is my social life. And
this is healthier than social media, though.
yeah, but it's all live. Dude, half my life is now streamed live. I started going, holy fuck, like, what's that gonna do to me? Honestly, to know that, like, you get used to it, right? At first, it's like weird. At first, it's like really overwhelming. But still, like, now I just look at like fucking 3 screens and I'm checking like 17 things at once and whatever. And I'm just so used to this like ADD fucking version of a conversation where I've learned how to listen while like running a show at the same time, kind of thing. And it's like, that's got to have like a weird impact on like my future social interactions. Like, I
that's
don't know.
like evolution, but also you're gonna have a lot of ADHD.
Yeah, like it just doesn't feel like I mean, we're creating like it's like, this is it. This is my best I'm getting. I try as much as I can to keep it like natural, and it's not that different. Like, you've met me and, you know, I'm not that different, but like you're still like this hyper aware being watchedness that comes in these moments. And now I've gotten like really unsure of where the line is. Like, back to that where's the line thing. Like, what's appropriate? Somehow it's appropriate for me to smoke joints, say fuck, and talk about what I want to the internet in front of the same people I work with, but doing it in person to their face becomes inappropriate.
And also posting it on social media is inappropriate, but doing it on video is appropriate.
Because it's part of this show and this character. Or I could bust anything I want into a rap song, and it's like totally fine. I can say the most whatever shit I want for the most part. But like, you repeat the word and it's like, yo, that's so fucking weird. Like, it plays with my mind a bit sometimes. It makes me not comfortable talking to a lot of people as openly, unless it's in these oddly controlled contexts where like, and even then there's witnesses. There's another element. Like, everyone's seeing everything they get to say here. I don't have to worry about shit.
Yeah, no, that's true. And it's definitely like a groove I gotta get back into, because like, I've noticed that like there were times where I was able to sort of get a momentum for like talking to the camera and stuff, but I've since lost that.
You're totally crushing this, though.
I appreciate you. Yeah, this is mad fun, by the way. Thank you so much for having me on.
Yeah, this is
an absolute pleasure.
I love it. Like, this whole vibe. You're like one of those people that's super special in my story, and it's like, it's just my privilege to be able to like talk about the incredible things you do. But then the fact that we also get to just talk about some real shit, dude. My girlfriend doesn't want to talk about the housing crisis in Toronto with me.
I mean, I get that shit. Like, yeah, because it's just bleak, man. People don't want to think about bleak shit. The world's dark, so like. But then also, there is a lot to be said for venting.
But here's the difference. You haven't heard everything I think before. Bro, there is nothing that has evolved in, and she's here. She's here. Whether she's going to hear it in a clip or that she's going to hear it 100 times on the interviews in real life when I vent at her. Yo, that conversation is stale as fuck. It's just kind of like, who else am I going to talk to?
Yeah, same with me and my girl. It's like, she's tired of hearing me bitch about gentrification, but she hates it too, though.
Yeah, but it's like nobody's satisfied with that arrangement, because it's not like she's not doing her due diligence. She is. She's playing. She's the best. But like, I mean, we already talked about it 8 months ago, and since then, it's just, wow, Myer's version. Like.
Yeah, I hear that. My interpretation.
So it's like, at least like this is fresh. You care. Yo, man, I talked to some people. Like I hung out with like one or two people in real life, and it was just like having regular ass conversations has never felt so good.
Bro, yeah, I can't imagine that, man. It's so wild, man. I feel like I've been radicalized over the last year on some shit. All I think about is guillotines and eating the rich, and
That
I don't
is
fucking know.
definitely an intense series of things, but I mean, yo, I took Wellbutrin for a while. It was the worst 6 months of my life.
Yeah, I don't love it either. I think
Um,
it might have fucked my heart out too, man. I don't know.
I definitely bounced back off of it, but it was 6 months I took it. I thought I was gonna die at one point. I sincerely remember thinking I was gonna die. I remember taking too many
Shit.
sleeping pills right when Heath Ledger died. To be fair, when I say sleeping pills, I say sleeping aids, which I found out are not the same thing. And I
Huh.
remember taking like 7 of them and just like praying I wasn't gonna die because Heath Ledger had just died. But like, yo, that shit got me. I couldn't fornicate correctly. It was very complicated. Everything about that pill fucked up my whole life. I couldn't write music right. I couldn't do anything. I didn't feel creative. I didn't feel like a human. And then I stopped, and then I got addicted to weed. So who the fuck am I to approach what the right way to do it? Don't be like me. There are cheaper ways to fucking get your fix.
So far, weed has been like the most successful band-aid out of all the band-aids.
It's just so expensive. That's the
Yeah,
problem.
but like what it might cost in expense, it like saves you in overall cost in
Mm,
terms of like the side effects of a lot of medications will fuck your liver or different organs up. Um, versus weed, well, I guess it fucks your lungs up a little bit to a certain degree, but
nah, I
not
mean,
as bad
I
as what a lot of
realized
people think.
like with the amount that I smoked over the last like decade, I could be in a super different place in my entire life. With everything, like I'd have like dividends and shit. But then I don't know that I'd be sitting here talking to you and that you'd like
Hmm.
me. That part wouldn't necessarily be true. So it's like I could be a rich douchebag that nobody likes because yo, you people wouldn't have liked the version of me, or like really high and not doing as well as they probably should be given what I do as my life because of like poor like choices and impulsiveness. But like I love my life. I
Yeah,
sincerely
man.
have finally reached a place where with all the stresses and whatever's I kind of love my life, and I think that a lot of it came from smoking copious amounts of pot in for me, not because it was good, but just too many amazing things have happened related to yo, you want to smoke a joint in my life. Like that sentence is like magical in my world.
Man, yeah, there's a lot to be said for it. It's like a whole sub community, and it really does like shift your priorities into like a more wholesome direction, I'd say, a lot of
Mm,
the time.
there's
And
no
so,
way I'm going to fucking look at birds sober. But I was high, so I gave a fuck about the heron, and then I was willing to look at the fucking red-winged blackbird.
yeah, you just take interest in everything, and you're not so focused on like everything you've been told to focus on
Well,
growing up.
myself is one of the things. I'm really
Yeah,
egocentric.
I mean, I think we all are when we don't smoke, but even when we do smoke, sometimes I don't know. It's an ongoing struggle. I'm a
Mm.
little bit of a narcissist.
Yeah, I relate, but I have a good woman who is very capable of knowing the right set of moments to cry and shit to make me feel like an arrogant asshole and reconsider all of my values if she needs to. So I appreciate her greatly for that. But yo, without Bonnie,
Gotta have that.
shit. I don't even think I'm anywhere at this point. I'm not just saying that. I didn't even know she was listening at that moment because she like half listens to this shit. But like for real reals though, no, she's there. Plus I have a great boss. I know that you've gone through the version of work that doesn't have a great boss. And as much as I have a lot of feelings, my direct boss has spent like 5-6 years being like, Holden, your rage is justified, but you're not going to make as much money with it. Let's work on how you can communicate better. And he uses this fucking voice. Okay, it's my like make fun of him voice a little bit. Sorry if you ever see this, Richard. But all of my colleagues know what's up when I drop that because he's really like that. But this guy managed to flip his way to like director in a software company on peace. He's like
Mm,
the peace path. Like, you know, when you have a war path and a peace path in an evolution game and you can choose to be
yeah.
violent or diplomacy, he's diplomacy and success, and I've never seen that before him. But I watched him I watched him do it all, do everything the aggressive salespeople did, via kindness, diplomacy, and helping others. And I'm like, bro, that's real. So I got to see like the one guy do it the one time, and I guess that's the guy I work for. So it's helped a little bit with like thinking work can be different.
It's like watching a samurai versus watching just like a drunken British soldier with a sword.
But yo, if I have to think back to like being in call centers and shit, or like I've done some factory shits. Like, man, I remember being at the La Senza distribution center with people who had been there for like 15 years and going. I was like, what, 18 maybe, 20? No, I was 20. I'm like, dude, if this is it, how could you be here at this same place for 15 years?
No, it's fucked. Like, it does something to you. And I want to add on to that. Like, you know what's messed up is I've noticed there's this whole thing of like you got to work your way to the top kind of shit. And so they keep you working in positions for long times, dangling promotions. And I've found that like fucking 9 times out of 10, they never actually promote you though. They just hire outwards. And it's just some like douchebag out of business school who doesn't know his fucking ass from his ankle and then runs the company into the ground management style. And meanwhile, the person who's worked there for 10 years, who was promised a promotion, just gets fucked around for another 5 years before they decide to quit. And I've seen that happen time and time again at several different establishments.
We've reached a point where I can't talk about this even on video. That's a real topic where if I levied an opinion, look, all I'm trying to say is I have a promotion in real life that's pending right now in my life, and being positive about my company on social media is all what it's about. We mad legitimate. We make softwares. It's dope. But I'm not going to go talk about that one right now because I don't have the self-control.
Yeah, don't. That's a good one. Let's sidestep this minefield. And also, I'm looking at the time. It's 9:03, so I'm going to have to wrap it up shortly.
Yeah, fair enough.
But I did want to like tell you about a couple other fucking exciting things, and also make space for if you had a couple of other questions and shit.
Which we'll say for you in the chat. If you have questions, this would be a great time to ask them.
That is what is up.
And then you can say your things.
And you as well, man. If you had like, you know, because we started off like with a couple specific, real deep ones, and then we deviated.
This is the show. This is the show. That's the experience. That's where people leave after and go, bro, I've never had an interview like this before. I'm like, yeah, no, because I don't have plans. I mean, in your case, I have a couple of pointed like ideas because I was there for parts of it, so I saw parts of it. So it's like my history too. But like the show is, at least for the first like real episode, you're like 5, and then we walk through your life, and then tangents happen. And then we land at the present where you give your like, this is what's coming next shit. And then we talk about political issues for a while. And then we wrap up when people get too hungry or whatever. So you just did the show. That's Bridge the Gap. That's what this experience is. That's why I don't know.
I love it. This was dope. This was a beautiful experience, man. I'm here for it.
I'm not seeing anything in the chat at this time, which is fine. Sometimes they have questions. Sometimes they've all been actually answered. Because the way I try to do it is to get you to answer all the typical bullshit through ulterior ways. Mm-hmm. You know what? The question sucks. What are your top 10? Nobody answers that well. Everyone does this shit. And for a live,
who I'm listening to this week.
And for a live though, it's a bad look. You just create radio silence, and I'm like, we gotta not ask that question as much as possible. But
I apologize for any radio silence I may have created.
You crushed, my guy. This is we don't break 3 hours for boring people. That's just the facts of the situation. Like, and we're still at 11. In fact, the number kind of climbed. It was like a slow start after that raid, and now it's like ascended into this wonderful situation where a bunch of people are invested in you in this moment. So, yes, we are going to wrap up. Not a lot of people lurk. That's part of their culture. They do like chores and shit, or they cook and they do things while we're like on, which is why it's blessed. Honestly, my girlfriend says it was great hanging out with you. It was always a pleasure. But it would be a good time for you to drop your like outro shits that you wanted to say.
Yes, I appreciate that. Well, first and foremost, I'm reshifting all of my focus towards Patreon. So go ahead and follow me on
I'm gonna
Patreon.
link that
For,
because I did not.
amazing. For the price of a coffee, you can invest in my music. And it's essentially as little as $1 a month and goes as high as $75 a month if you're feeling saucy. Um, but basically, you get different reward systems and different tiers, and you get to be on the forefront of seeing music creation and hear all kinds of dope unreleased shit.
Mm.
Um, so go check that out, and then otherwise follow me on social media at Myer Clarity, except for on Twitter where I'm that Myer Clarity. And if you haven't yet, I got an album coming out called Tour Support with Boney Washington. Um, that's coming out June 11th. As well, go check out Boney Washington, Skeevious Tips, and Danielle Knoll, who are all part of No Damn Good Entertainment. And they all got dope shit dropping. Danielle's got a single coming next month. Skeeves has got an EP gonna drop. So does Boney. Um, yeah, and check back. We're gonna do more Twitch shit. I'm gonna rope you in.
No, don't worry. We're gonna talk. It worked out in your favor that I did a morning album review that I really enjoyed doing. Because we had talked
Oh,
about that shit and we did it like in the morning and a bunch of people came through and I'm like, oh fuck, it looks like 10 a.m. is a wonderful time of day to do this shit. Maybe
that is
we'll
what's
have
up.
some things to talk about for sure. Nah, because we had
Yeah.
talked about doing shit. He's actually been on my ass to like run some of the shit on regularity. He that was pointed. I heard what he was doing there. But like it was a pleasure to have you. I really was. I enjoyed this
Yeah, thank
conversation
you.
a lot. I think you did a lot for like the alternative lanes of hip hop in Montreal, which like there weren't a lot of alternative lanes. And like yo, I guarantee you my entire career is easier because of like things you paved. You got people used to like fucking weirdos doing shit. So I could just go be like a weirdo. And now there's a lot of weirdos, like a lot of weirdos. People aren't gonna like the fact that Montreal has that many weirdo rappers, like in the regards to what they may be used to from the past. But in a lot of ways, you're a huge part of that, and so I
Man,
think that's
paved the way
fucking
for weirdo rap.
yo. It's blessed. I mean, I like
It is
it.
blessed.
It's what I do, so I can't really hate it. I mean, it's
I'm gonna
just
tell
a
people I'm the founder of weirdo rap.
I don't know if it's the
Nah.
right word, but just how it came out of my fucking head. But like, I mean, I guess yeah. Hustler's catchphrase is "everyone's a weirdo," so that's a big
Oh,
point, eh?
there you go. There you go.
I wouldn't
We
like
are all
go
weirdos,
like that
though.
far to like call it like claim name hustler shit, but like I would just say like in general, like the idea of this alternative lane of shit is definitely something
No,
you had a huge
it's
hand
dope.
in, regardless to whatever, because yo, you did it, and I'm not saying others didn't come before you, and I'm not saying others ain't gonna be around you. I'm saying you had an impact, and a lot of people say your name to this day. And when I
Man, I
say I know
appreciate that.
Myer Clarity, it counts for something more than it doesn't count for something. So, eh.
Bro, I love the love, and I love being a part of this. This was like an amazing stroll down memory lane, and I want to give you your flowers for doing this. And I also want to give a shout out to Northern Lights and the Laboratory and Drex and all the homies that came up with Underground Railroad. Oh shit, I'm hitting my microphone. Um, damn, you can tell I'm tired. And yeah, man, just shout out to the whole Montreal scene. Everyone doing it, everyone that came up with. Fucking love y'all. I want to come back home. I miss y'all. um, and yeah, check the new shit. We talk about a lot of crazy shit. But yo, thank you so much for having me on, man. This has been like such a unique and blessed experience, and I
Yeah, I
super appreciate it.
appreciate you doing it, man. I mean, not everyone's willing to give up a Saturday night, so appreciate that. And thank y'all for watching. Because without you guys being here and being in this live environment, I'd be less enthused. And it's way better than the not live version. And then all of you watching in the future, thank you for watching in the future because it's also wonderful. Like it also helps validate the whole like everything. Like we do this, people see it and just kind of like create some momentum and it's fucking blessed. So thank you for being a part of that. like, follow, subscribes, all that crap, comments, etc. Special thanks to the patrons: Ismail Gadamsi, Chris Pratt, Jonathan Barnes, DJ Black, Hercules, Linda Williams, and Scribble. The dope, support what we do. Patreon.com/BehindThatSuit. And if you're on Twitch and you have Amazon Prime, you can subscribe for free. Just throwing that out there. On that note, everybody, it's been real fun. Live long and prosper, everyone. And I'm gonna